Fluorspar can be an unpredictable city. But fluency doesn't mitigate its problems. In some ways, it amplifies them. This is why we're deployed. But we've seen better days.
Then why are we just now debriefing?
This mission is not complete.
I only know of her. Our lack of data collection is a problem.
Valdez, I'm aware of your investigative talents. Braxwell spoke highly of you, and that's why you're on this team. Local law enforcement handles itself very well. But there are those with abilities. Some believe themselves to be good. Others don't even attempt to act as if they are. Either way, we're involved. Not everyone will agree with our status. But that can be said for anything. May I remind you both, we're Alphacore, and failure is not what we do.
What is up, everybody? Hello. Welcome to the official Alphacore #1 Closeout stream. I want to first and foremost thank every single one of you guys that have purchased it, and of course will eventually purchase it throughout the entirety of this stream. It has been an incredible campaign. I mean, it's been more successful than I ever could have imagined. You know, we went into this, we've talked about before, with a lot of uncertainty, just because it's the first non-Isam property. And how could it not be successful, considering the great Chuck Dixon as well as Joe Bennett is on this project. That's what made it do what it did. And I appreciate you guys. I'm very thankful for you guys. And that's why we're all here. We have, of course, members of the Rippaverse team, and we also have Az, who is a massive fan here, and one of my homies. Obviously, you know him with Ripping the Silverback, and our show that's here, well, here and there on his channel as well, every Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. Central. So I'm going to go around the table. I'm just going to have everybody introduce themselves, how they're feeling going into this close out today. Of course, we'll just go around table, and we're going to start with my man's Andrew, who's creative manager for the Rippaverse. Man, how you doing?
And man, I'm doing great. This is, as you said, this has been a phenomenal campaign. I can't think of a more deserving legend who I got to grow up reading his books since I was, single digits, yay and a half high. Getting to see a campaign and being a part of a project on any capacity that he was the writer of is so surreal. And man, this is cool as shit. I'm so happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. And of course, I appreciate you being on. You obviously have insider information on a lot of what's going on with the editing and everything. So we got we got some stuff on the horizon that Chuck's also part of as well. That there will be an appropriate time at some point. We're not going to Tom Holland ourselves to let everybody know what we've been cooking up here at the Rippaverse. But of course, we are also joined by our lore masters and editors, Jen and Sylvia Slaska, the writers of the upcoming Yaira. How are you lovely ladies doing today?
We're doing awesome. I promise I won't spoil anything until I'm allowed to, and then I will spoil it all. I will spoil it all. I love Alphacore. I've already told you this in private, Chuck, but it was so amazing to read it. Obviously, writing Yaira has different feelings towards the Alphacore than, you would have if you're going from the perspective of Alphacore. Yeah. And it was amazing to humanize characters that Yaira does not treat very nicely.
Yeah, getting to work in entertainment, every now and then you get to be connected with an absolute legend, and that's what you are, Chuck. It's so cool to creatively bounce back and forth. Also, I guess I can say this. It's intimidating as hell to pick up the comic when you have to follow it and you're like, oh my God.
Oh yeah.
Look at these like I can't spoil yet, but oh my God. Like, oh my God. I felt like I was watching one of my favorite action movies. It was so good. And what you did with the villains, I loved it. I loved it so much. It was, yeah.
You are one tough act to follow. I feel like Robin Williams just did stand up and they're like, now you go up.
Now you say it, Joey. Go ahead. It's funny.
Now make them laugh.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But no,
I love it. I can't say the parts I love, my favorite part, but all of it. Like, thank you, Chuck. It was such an honor. I feel that I'm now going to be a better writer for having read your work and your unreleased stuff too.
Your unreleased stuff is insane.
Yeah.
Can't talk about that either. Can't talk about that either. But the thing that we can't even it's like Magnum. You can't even talk about it.
Yeah, it's not ready yet.
It's not ready yet. All of it is my favorite.
Yeah. And by the way, guys, we are going to do a couple of spoiler talk streams. We'll eventually do one here. And of course, on Ripping the Silverback, we're going to do one as well on Wednesday, which is going to be incredibly fun. So y'all be sure to stay tuned on those. We'll let you in on everything. And we'll, of course, keep you posted. And without further ado, we are joined by the writer of Alphacore, the absolute legend. And I can absolutely echo Sylvia's sentiments on being a better writer, right? With having this guy around. And that's, of course, like I said, the writer of Alphacore #1. While we're here celebrating because he just knocked it out the park with this story. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I just got to say, if the Saskas are intimidated by my track record, I'm intimidated by their level of energy. We had a Zoom meeting together, and I had to go take a nap. I made sure I'm fully caffeinated today, so I can handle the two of them. This is just an awesome experience to get to play in your backyard, Eric.
Oh man!
And I'm just glad that your fans responded the way they did and made this a successful campaign. That was my biggest worry because this was your house, and I'm coming in as a guest. Am I going to be welcome? Am I not? And I've been very welcomed, and I'm grateful for that.
Oh, of course, man. I would have had it no other way. I feel you are just integral to the development of this universe. So I look at it like you're just as important building the sandbox for all of the fans as everybody else is. Definitely as time goes on and we tell more stories. So I'm just appreciative of having you here because. Again, to what Jim was saying earlier, I mean, making myself better. We've talked about this, and it's just I couldn't have a better person around to assist, and as I grow, especially as a creative and as a writer. So having you around and having this be the success to keep you around, obviously, because that was the goal here, right? The idea was not to have Chuck Dixon do a one-off here. I was like, look, I want him to be a mainstay here at the Rippaverse, and with the audience responding like they did and how they have been doing, it's just further legitimized. As soon as we saw it first day, we're green lighting this project, green lighting that project. We're swimming in all these NDAs. We got these ideas going on, and I can't wait for it to be appropriate to kind of talk about that and expand on that. But again, big shout out to yourself. Big shout out to Joe as well. And the work that he's done. I mean, he's just incredible. We have some other stuff that we're working on as well with him. And it's just, he is so incredibly good. And he's elevating everybody here as well. So both of you guys are just incredibly deserving of this. This success it is that you guys are having. Again, that's to y'all's credit, man. So I appreciate each and every single one of you. And of course, we are also joined by, again, coming from the Morse fan perspective, also again with my right hand with Rip the Silverback. I don't know how he's still up because I was watching him all last night play Power World with Kara, and then as soon as I got back up, he was playing again. So so I guess it works out. He's streaming, and then he just ended the stream, and then he comes over here. So, man, he is an absolute machine, man. But man, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. Three things I'd like to say. First of all, this is a fantastic book. I haven't read it.
so everybody says.
So don't ask me my favorite part. Every time I get and it is an absolute privilege to do a stream with Chuck. I do have to pinch myself because it does feel like yesterday I was walking into Forbidden Planet in Leeds on the head row, going in, picking up my pull list that wasn't other places, picking up Detective Comics, picking up Robin, Nightwing, whatever it was, Chuck Dixon's name on there. Always such a smile on my face to see Chuck writing, because I knew that when I was reading a Chuck Dixon book, I was getting a great time. I really was going to have a fun time with it. And 30 years later, I'm talking to the man, the legend himself, and it is so humbling. And to see you still at the absolute peak, because honest to God, this was fucking amazing. This was such a great book, and I was hooked. I only wanted to read a couple of pages before a stream I had to go to. At 45 minutes, I thought just a quick little look, and then by the time the stream started, it's halfway through. It's halfway through the book, and I only had to put it down because of the stream. And then as soon as the stream was ended, I needed to finish the book. It was page turner is a cliche, but that's what it was. It was an absolute page turner. I needed to know what happened. I needed to see what was developing. I got questions. We'll go into that. We'll go into that in the spoiler discussion. So Chuck, thank you so much. And then finally, before the campaign even began, I was speaking with Eric in private. Sure, he won't mind us saying this because we've had this discussion before. But I said to Eric, it's Chuck Dixon. I said, this is a 7-figure campaign.
Automatic,
I said, I got no doubt in my mind whatsoever. I knew it wasn't Isam. I knew it was they're bringing in the Alphacore, something completely new IP, new characters. I had no doubt. So there's been a sort of level of complacency would be a hard word to use. It would be a bit cruel, but I just felt relaxed. There was no problem for me. I knew exactly what this campaign was going to do. I knew it hit 7 figures because there was no way it couldn't. And to be followed up quite soon by these ladies here and reading their work,
man. That's wild.
We're gonna get spoiled, spoiled this year. Can't wait for more work, Chuck. Cannot wait to see what happens next in the Rippaverse because things are very exciting right now. But thank you.
Shout out, man. And yeah, man, that's what's crazy. I mean, we're coming off this incredibly successful campaign, and we got Yara right after that, which is kind of hard to believe. Like, we are really just getting started for the year. And man, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So again, big shout out to everybody. Actually, that's what I'll do right now. I'll go ahead and share my screen. We'll go through some of this stuff right here, and I'll give you guys some updates. So obviously, these numbers, depending on what browser that you're on, is not accurate. or not updated, let's say that. Right now we are at over 13,000 total purchases, 13,051 total purchases. We are closing in. I'm not sure how far. What were we closing in on, Andrew? Was it 22,000 books sold?
Yeah, 22. We're like 5 books away from that.
Okay.
So
we're probably in the next
that's when
minute,
I checked like 10 minutes ago.
Minute we'll have.
Yeah.
We'll be at 22. I mean, conceptualize that. And I guess speak on that real quick, Chuck, because I mean, you coming from the industry and understanding like the price point as well as the book size, like how 22,000 like books, how many books that actually is in comparison, just understanding kind of the industry, because this isn't a floppy.
Yeah. If you've just stumbled across this stream and don't realize it, this isn't a comic book. This is a graphic novel. I mean, this is a trade paperback, and it's doing, these numbers are fantastic. I mean, they would be dancing the aisles at DC and Marvel if a monthly sold this well.
Yeah.
So, I'm just amazed at the numbers.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, undoubtedly the most successful franchise in crowdfunding. The number of readers that you're reaching. This isn't boutique. This isn't niche. This is market share type sales. So,
yeah.
I'm amazed. I'm amazed at what you've constructed here, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Nah, man. Like I said, you're as much a part of this as anybody else. We, to your point, talking about kind of the alternative space and what it is that we're doing, because of so much has changed. I mean, you can speak to this, and I'm going to get going in Alphacore in a bit, guys. I just want to make this point, but like a lot's changed. Everybody's it's like the Wild West, and that's what's so fun about this whole thing, because everybody's trying to figure out what makes sense. And instead of going the traditional route of going through this major publisher and then using Diamond, and we talked about how the barrier of entry between social media, even between things like crowdfunding, right, have completely changed the game, right? They've lowered the barrier of entry. And even then, with that element, just again, like I said, with technology, everything's changing. Like, we had a different approach, right? We looked at what the transparency, this is how I always word it, the transparency of what crowdfunding introduced, which we didn't really have. Yeah, you had your sales stuff that maybe you got from Comic-Con or Diamond, right? But to have how many people are buying X amount of thing, and how much money is being put into this project, like that's what kind of this introduced to the sphere. So we took that element of it, and then we combined it with more of the more traditional, I guess, approach as far as like pre-orders and utilizing that as our kind of measure. And that's our way. And our way may not make sense for everybody, but it certainly made sense for us because it worked out with us having our own website and everything. And even with that being said, I mean, just as much as the creative stuff is something that we're always thinking about, and we're trying to figure out where this is going to go, what's happening with this character, how people are going to respond. I would argue the same thing is happening on the other side with the business, right? It's like we're trying new things, and we get it implemented, and then it works, and maybe it doesn't work, and we do more of this, we do less of that. And there's been some changes between like Isam 1's release versus this one, which is why this was our best release. Like, let's be clear, like as far as
smooth as butter.
So smooth.
The process, the website, and this was our best release. And you can argue with the content as well, right? With fucking Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett doing it as well. So everything top to bottom, right, has been like a better experience, definitely for our customers, because of the growth, and because it's the Wild Wild West, and because we're always trying to figure things out. So this is always fun, and I love this aspect of it. So with that being said, guys, like I said, we're closing in. We probably, since I went on that little tangent, probably sold 5 books to get us to that number. We are over 13,000 total individual purchasers. And a couple of things that I want to bring up here, if you don't mind. So we did, as a last chance, and this is your last chance. You'll have to catch us at like a con or
we
something.
did cross 22K.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah!
Yeah. We have officially hit 22,000 books sold.
Oh,
That's pretty fucking massive.
But how many people are going to read them though?
Yeah. So according to some people,
One or two.
nobody will ever read this. They just buy it just to buy it, and that's
Sure.
it.
Whatever. Cope harder.
Yeah. look at
Oh,
Jen.
nice. Yeah.
I love it. 22,000 guys. 22,000 books sold. That is a whole hell of a lot of books.
That's a lot of books.
Appreciate that. We are celebrating here.
I hope you got permission from Trudeau to do that.
no! No one tell him we're having fun.
We're not allowed.
Oh,
No,
no.
there's a new law this morning. We're not sure.
He'll freeze our accounts and put us to death
Voluntarily.
Oh man, but seriously, guys, thank you so much. This has been an incredible experience with us having 22,000. That's a one hell of a milestone. And our next big one, and soon enough, we may be crossing that, is going to be the $1.3 million mark. So thank you, guys. We appreciate all of the love. And as a last chance, we did reassess our stock, and it looks like cover B is the last that is left of the signature series copies of Alphacore #1 signed by Chuck Dixon. Okay, so you want to get that. That's going to be the last of them of our stock. Again, you may get lucky and we may have one or two at a con or something like that, but this is it. Not look at that 9 point, and that's the cover. That's the cover right there.
9.
That's the cover right there that is available still of this that Az is holding up. So it looks good. It looks good. Signed by Chuck Dixon himself. So grab that. Also, Isam 2 has A and B. So A and B covers are I signed those. Those are available as well. So you can get in on that. This is going to end tonight with the campaign. So this is your last chance. You're going to want to grab those if you have not. I just wanted to throw that out there, and just to wider audience, to let everybody understand kind of what we're dealing with and what's at stake with that. So thank y'all again for the support. Alphacore is just the numbers have picked up a lot since then. We're closing in on 1.3 million, and this has been just an incredible experience. Just incredible to be a part of, man. You guys are making my dreams come true in more ways than one, and I'm just highly appreciative of you allowing this to be as successful as what it has been. And like I've said, we're going to keep grinding. We're going to keep giving you material it is that you want. But for sure, while we have Chuck, and by the way, this applies to anybody else on the panel, the second that you kind of need to cut off or do something, just let us know. And we'll make sure we get you that outro, because I don't want to be holding everybody here all day. But while we got Chuck here, and in fact, I'll just move him up here. While we have Chuck here, I do want to talk, of course, about Alphacore without going into the whole spoilers. I love to tap into your creative mind. I think this is a great opportunity to do that kind of. So let's just discuss it. I present to you, hey, I got these guys we've created. They need a story, right? They need a story. What was Chuck Dixon's approach to writing to writing Alphacore and giving people the story it is that a lot of people love?
Well, I mean, basically, you said, here's the good guys, here's the bad guys, work it out, and
pretty much.
Why complicate things?
Yeah, seriously. So, I thought, well, it's superheroes and they're cops. They're different than other superheroes. They don't have secret identities. They're not mass vigilantes working outside the law. They are public servants. So I thought, well, let's treat them that way. And let's combine the superhero genre with the police thriller. And so basically, I came up with what would be a solid, Lethal Weapon type story, and amped it up for superheroes. And I love both genres. I love police procedural stories. Obviously, I love superheroes. I've written thousands of them. So, from there, it just sort of all worked itself out. And I had to figure the characters out. what I liked about them, what I didn't like about them, and what was cool about them, and then lean into the coolness factor, because that's what comics really at the end of the day, a comic book hero is a badass and a cool guy.
Yeah.
And you got to find that place and lean into it. And the rest was it. I just sat and made it all up.
It's what you do best, Chuck.
Yes,
It's the only thing I do. Well, trust me.
I love the guys you created. They were such fun villains. Like the intro, there's a big thing with show don't tell, and the way you introduced them, you knew everything about them, and it was so cool.
Yeah, I think that's my mutant ability. I had a soap opera writer tell me, she said, I wrote soap operas for 10 years. How do you introduce characters so quickly? I was like, you wrote soap operas and you're, asking me that? So I don't know. It's my fear of boring the reader is how I do it.
That's
That makes
amazing.
Definitely don't do that. Holy cow.
I try not to.
Not even close. Not even close. But no, it's like I said, I remember first reading this script once I got it, and I was like, wow, this is incredible. I know people that have watched the streams, you've heard me say this a million times that, this is very much a story that I never could have wrote. You know what I mean? Not just because I'm not Chuck, like in terms of like the experience and the talent there, but just in the kind of uniqueness of his approach to storytelling. However, it's not like the characters, which is what Chuck does so well. It's not like the characters feel out of character, right? They all act like they need to act, from Brian to Braxwell to Ingrid, and who it is that they are, and they're put in this fresh setting. And look, I want to be very clear here that Chuck had it wasn't an easy thing for him to do. You're talking about writing this new team, right? And it's coming off of Isam and it's different property and all of that. But also the scale is just a lot a bit different, right? Because he's handling 3 different characters, and these are not just 3 different characters. They play into just the makeup of the actual city because of the fact that they are tied to the police force, right? So there was he's fleshing out the city as well, and how, let's say, more accurately putting it, more like the police and Alphacore and how they impact this world or impact this particular city. That was a tall order, and he knocked it out the absolute park. I remember just getting that first script, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is so good, man!" Very much a police procedural as he defines it, but it was just so good. But I for sure want you to speak on, because I obviously Joe's not here, but Chuck can speak to it better than anything. You saw Joe's work before we ever started on this bad boy, right? So you went into it with the perspective of this is who this artist is, and this is what he does well. And obviously with that which we've shared heavily, that first spread, right out the gate, you're getting like, oh, this is Joe Bennett's basically putting his foot down, like, yeah, I'm here too, So how was that like writing with that in mind, where it's different, right? When you're writing a script and you're like, whoever's going to be the artist is going to be the artist, but with you had this perspective of this is who this guy is and this is what he does. He does well, so I'm gonna also write with that in mind. Like, how do you even approach something like that?
Well, with Joe, I mean, you put Joe and I together and basically unleashed us. I think Joe and I together create like a third person. I like that. A little fusion. We've really hit it off, both creatively and personally. And as you well know, we've sort of become a nuclear reactor for Rippaverse, creating new stuff that we can't talk about yet. But Joe, I knew about Joe's work. I was when Joe left Marvel, I was conversing with him, emails and private messages. So we knew each other. But I always ask my artists, what do you like to draw, and what don't you like to draw? If you don't like to draw horses, I won't put horses in the story. And all Joe said was double page spreads. It's okay. We're going to have a lot of them.
Yeah.
Which poses a challenge when you're writing, because you're like, oh, the next page is a double page spread. Oh, damn. it's an even page. I can't. It's an
Yeah.
odd page.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's an odd number page. I gotta figure out somewhere back in the story I can add another scene. but
Yeah.
but that's a little bit of a challenge. But boy, did he kill it! Did he have? and
Yeah.
he draws every crazy thing I asked him to draw, and it all looks like it came from the real world. His art is spectacularly grand and huge, but it's also grounded in reality.
Yep.
And the other plus is he's a great eye candy artist. I mean, you have to stare at those pages. I mean, all the detail, but he's a terrific storyteller too, and that's a rare combination.
Most definitely. Yeah, he is. I mean, that was a no-brainer once we had got to conversing and we figured that, with the availability, and I was like, yeah, we got to team him up with Chuck, because number one, Chuck deserves the absolute best that we can offer with a guy that's also, everybody knows Joe's been around, man. So, this isn't some guy that just woke up and decided to start doing art. Like, this is he's a very, very talented artist, but he's also been around the block. And to your point, like, he has the ability to take what Chuck or whoever is doing the writing and adapt that in its cool way. But like I said, with Chuck understanding who he is, right, and what it is that he does well, Chuck's writing with that in mind, and that's not an easy thing to do. That speaks to Chuck's dedication, as well as just his commitment to wanting to write the best story, because I think that's what absolutely has to happen as you're you understand what the artist does, and sometimes that doesn't happen in the first issue, right? It's like, it's your first time working with another person. But as time progresses, I know you guys hit it off immediately, which makes this ever more like impressive, writing to his ability, and he's making sure that he adopts and adapts everything it is that you needed out of him, just from an art perspective. Not an easy thing to do, but I don't think, though, like tandems like that, you don't see it that often, but when it works, it works. So it's like, I'm like, all right, well, if I can get Joe and Chuck to do more work, because clearly this is working, right? And clearly this is something that they feed off each other very well. And I love the way that you worded it, and like, it's almost like you're creating this new person as you guys kind of combine forces there. And that's what we got with Alphacore. That's what we're getting with some of the future stuff that we can't quite talk about yet. We will eventually, right? We'll eventually talk about, but man, it's just so fun. It's so fun to watch this whole deal play out. And I guess I'll move to the ladies here, because I know they have obviously seen, they've obviously read the script. Were reading it as a script, and then seeing it be adapted by Joe Bennett. You can answer this in whatever ways that you guys want to. Having that kind of insider knowledge and seeing that, as well as some of the other stuff it is that Joe and Chuck is that they collaborated on, what is the perspective that you guys have also as seasoned writers in other like, especially like in other genres and other industries, right? Because you guys have been in the film industry as well. So like, what was your reaction getting those scripts, or getting that script for Alphacore, and then seeing it play out the way that we did with the art and the color and all that good stuff?
Well, I didn't expect to cry reading the script. That was mean.
I didn't expect to cry again when I saw it.
Yeah, because I knew it was coming. So I was like, I put a callus around my heart.
It happens with your own movie. You edit something a certain way, and then as soon as you cry the first time, you're like, oh, great, I got it. And then you'll never cry again, because you watch so-and-so whatever over and over and over again. And
to me, it felt like I was watching X-Men Last Stand. Let me explain, because like, I knew what was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, Xavier was going to have to be in a wheelchair, and I totally forgot.
First class.
First class. I totally forgot. And I was so drawn into the moment, and the way that the art goes, and it keeps building and building. It's very cinematic. Like, you could take Alphacore and turn it into storyboards and make like the coolest action movie, and it would totally play the same. It was just, it was intimidating as hell.
Oh, I knew it would be good, but when I read it, I was like, oh, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just good. I'm like, this is one of the, like, if you have Alphacore number one, you will always have one of the greatest first comics ever written to launch a team. And
Wow.
let's be honest,
For
they're
sure.
the
I
cops.
agree.
Yeah.
They're the cops.
They should be the most
Who
boring
cares?
people. And they're
I didn't give a crap about Brian Solari
I did
because
not
of my.
before.
I'm very Yaira. I had to
am.
see him through. And let's just say there's respect issues from her towards him, and
Yeah.
he's very
they have a past.
to see he's a human, to see they're all so human,
Oh, and
and
what? Yeah, his past and what he had.
I'm very big when I do stories. I'm very big in the story and the characters. And some people are like, "Oh, it's okay if you have good characters. It's okay if you have a good story. You just need one or the other." Like, no, those are the two things you need. You need a great story and great characters inside. And the existing characters in the Rippaverse, I was so hungry to get more of them, particularly those two villains. You made me hate them. You made me go from, hey, who are they? They're kind of like, oh, I have no idea, to being like, I hope you die. I hope you both die in a horrible, painful way. And then you come back to life and you die a second time.
Because we only got a piece of them. And then the way that you acted with them. And you made them feel like classic villains, like really great villains. Like, and you left more people wanting more at the end. And then I don't want to spoil anything, but yeah, you did it. You obviously checked.
They're a real pair of a-holes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They are.
They have. I can make him and her worse energy when they're together.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I love them, by the way.
Of course.
There is definitely a lot more to one of them than meets the eye, and I'm really ready for that to start happening.
Oh yeah. But,
Chuck's strength. To me, Chuck's greatest strength is the different voices that you give characters, and it's so important when you're reading it to read a character and understand that that's a character, and the way that you, particularly with, let's just talk the core group, Brian, Braxwell, and Ingrid, the way that you took them on very different journeys throughout the book, and they very much felt like completely new, realized characters. Just because they're in the same group, didn't feel that they said they had the same programming or whatever. Very different people. One of them particularly, probably can't go into it in here. I was very interested in her. Kind of gives away who it is. Very interested in the way that you took her, because there's clearly issues would be maybe too strong word, but something to prove, I think, would be a better way to maybe stress it. Something to prove with her, with the things that we discover about her and the police and Alphacore and whatnot. And Braxwell, I got theories about them. I got theories about these guys, and it's great to have that, because when characters do feel and sound so different, you think, okay, they can go on these journeys. They can go on their separate journeys, and you could find Braxwell in a completely different book on his own. You could find Ingrid in a book on her own, Brian as well, or even, a couple of wonderful villains in there. So yeah, it's very exciting to see not just this team come together, but the potential of where it could go, and that's just genius writing, mate.
Piggybacking off what you just said, as I think that's a perfect description of something that Chuck has always been kind of a savant with. And as I said before, I grew up reading his books, so I grew up reading a lot of Bat Family stuff by him, and so he has always been very adept with giving individual characters their own voice, and so that character isn't going to sound like this character. Ingrid doesn't sound or feel in any way, shape, or form like Brian or like Braxwell. No. They're each individuals. And that's something that I expect out of a Chuck Dixon book, because that's stuff he's been doing for decades, right? So it's funny. I read this book some 36 times, while I was, before the thing even went to print, as being the editor on it. And every single time it was just fantastic. But I remember distinctly the first time reading through it, I'm like, this is a Chuck Dixon book. It feels exactly like a Chuck Dixon book felt when I was growing up and reading. I'm like, this. Every single character has their own story arc that they're going through. Each one has their own goals, even if they all kind of have a similar goal together as a unit. Each character is going through something very distinct from the others. And that's such a fantastic thing to see. And to what Eric had said earlier about this wasn't necessarily an easy task to put on you.
Not at all.
Because this isn't like, putting you on a character like Batman or Tim Drake or any of these other characters, Punisher, whoever, that has all of these decades of history, and you being a diligent and fantastic writer. Obviously, if you're getting put on a book that has a character with all this pre-existing history, you're doing your due diligence, right? You want to make sure you understand, okay, who is this character at their core? What kind of different stories can I tell with them that haven't maybe necessarily been done before, but they're still going to retain who they are, right? That's what a good writer can do. You want to be able to tell new stories, but make sure that the audience can recognize who this character is. You got the key tenets of that character that need to exist. Otherwise, they're the character name only. You didn't have that option here. These were brand new characters that got a couple of pages in Isam 1.
That's it.
And a page and a half in Isam 2.
Yeah, barely.
And Eric says, all right, here's the universe Bible entries, go. And you had to basically, that's like, this might be a little hyperbole, that's like God creating everything from nothing, right?
That's not hyperbolic at all.
Right?
Not hyperbolic at all.
That's like
they're the same picture.
That's what Chuck has on Sundays.
Chuck Dixon and Eric are doing the David.
We're just touching each other's fingers.
Chuck, you are doing God's work. You are doing God's
but
work.
That's what it
Yeah,
felt
I don't
like.
think Chuck takes a Sunday off though. That's
That's really what it felt like. And you did a phenomenal job creating this fantastic, high octane story. And obviously, credit to Joe Bennett. I mean, he's the reason why that Immortal Hulk was selling anyway. So to pair somebody of his caliber with a writer like you, only magic could happen. That was the only possible outcome. And that's what I expected. And that's what I got. And it was so freaking fantastic. And every single person that I talked to that has read the book in our fandom has been over the moon about it. And they should be. Because they got a little piece of history. They got the first Rippaverse Chuck Dixon book.
Yeah, and there will be many more to come. I mean, you put that perfectly, man. It's so it's just one of those things where, and I love to see that as the owner of the company. I love to see that. Okay, the latest release is what people felt the best about, right? Because that tells me we're going in the right direction. Yeah. That's the constant growth it is that we want with our releases, especially here where our schedules are. It's going to change a little bit where, as we put out more stories, there's going to be a little more overlap with some stuff, but definitely with us basically releasing one after the other in this early stage, having the latest book be the one that people find the most to be most respectable that's what you need. That's what you need as a company for sure in our position. But again, it's just a wonderful story and a wonderful just an opportunity for me, and I think everybody here, definitely the internal folks here with Jen, Sylvia as well, doing a lot of the writing, having Chuck around. We've collaborated, we've kicked these ideas back and forth, and we have some cool things that we're all sort of working on, and it's fun. So if you can, Chuck, because I mean, that cat has long been out of the bag as far as, we're doing more work. Like, it's not a secret. What that is, everybody doesn't know yet. So can you speak to, without spoiling, kind of what has been the approach and some of the other ideas that you've been kicking around with like the Rippaverse in itself? Because, I've said this a million times. I give Chuck as many stories as he can handle. I'll appreciate him here, but what's kind of been the philosophy there? It is an earlier universe. We're not something that's been established for 40 years. And we have a lot of development. And then you got to tell a different story, because it's always from the perspective that the audience doesn't know really a lot. Right. So it's different. So what has been your approach with post Alphacore stuff as well?
Well, largely it's just Joe and I talking back and forth. And Joe says, you know what Eric needs?
Yeah.
You know what the Rippaverse needs? And the first time was he needs a more grounded, non-superhero mass vigilante, a Batman Punisher type. And I said, well, let me think about that. And I came up with an approach, kind of stands the lone vigilante genre on its head.
I'm listening.
Joe designed a character, and we pitched it to you, Eric, and you liked it. So we're like, okay, cool.
He's
And
so
then-
good.
I love him.
I love him.
Yeah.
I love him so much. He's like someone else that I can't say that was not. He was done dirty.
I love
Done
your
so dirty, and this is everything that should have been done with that character better here.
Yeah, and there's one part I don't want to spoil it that Jen and I already quote from the comic all the time.
Yeah.
Because it makes us laugh so fucking hard. I'm sorry, sir.
Sorry.
No, you're on our channel. I
You're
don't
in
give
front of God. I'm sorry.
Nobody gives a shit.
Disgusting.
Oh, it's so good, Chuck.
It's
Oh my
so
God.
thank you.
Good.
He's a dreamboat. There's gonna be a lot of chicks that are like, get a guy like that.
Yeah, no, I love the internal monologue. Oh, sorry. I love your writing. I love
No time out here.
Chuck, we'll let you talk about your own work. Go ahead.
Well,
I
thank
know
you
you
for that.
keep talking, ladies. Keep talking. I think you know.
Look at your ass trying to get the scoop.
Yeah, I'm not taking notes at all right now.
Like I'm here for.
But after I visited the Rippaverse facility to sign all those books, I came back home, and after talking to people there and talking to Eric in person, I came back home and it was my turn. I said, Joe, you know what the Rippaverse needs? It needs a cosmic character. And we went to work on that. So that's in the way.
He's hit me up. Joe's hit me up with like a million ideas. Pirate character.
Oh, well, yeah. We want to work on a pirate character so
Yeah,
bad.
like it's
no idea.
And I love it. He'll hit me up and say, hey man, I'm thinking, and that's to me is what is so fun about this, because it's this constant, like the creatives that are involved with the Rippaverse, they're invested in it as much as I am, I feel, because everybody's forward thinking and always trying to figure out kind of, okay, we can entertain this. And because it's a new universe, we get to do that. I posted about this on social media, asking people like what kind of cool genres and other stuff it is that we can do, or that they would like to see. And really with our type of approach, we can do anything. Like we can do whatever it is that we want. So I love that, even as we're all working on our other projects, right? We're like, hey, I'm working on this, but what about this as well, right? What about this idea? And we're kicking it around and trying to see if it makes sense. And I love that. I love that it really does show that there's a lot of enthusiasm for the project by the artists, by the creatives, by the writers, by everybody that's sort of involved. Because to Chuck's point, Joe will do that. Joe hits me up all the time. She would message like, what you think about this? And I'm like, I can see that working. I can see that working. Let's make that make sense. And even though he's working on one project, he's like, okay. And we kind of got a chain here, because we know we got this project, and then we got one that he'll be working on right after that, right? Because everybody's enthusiastic and everybody's stoked about it. And look, that's what it's about for me. I think this universe is going to have something to offer for just about everybody. Excuse me.
Yeah,
no matter what.
Blockbuster video, something for everybody.
Yeah, like you're going to walk in. It's a sandbox. You walk in and you're like, okay, I more so gravitate towards X, and that is going to be available to you. Yes, there will be different projects that or different types of people that will just get everything. They'll say, I want this, I want this, I want that. I want everything that is Rippaverse. But then you're also going to get those that more so gravitate towards various like a type of genre, let's say that. And that's cool with me. That's the point, right? It's funny. Someone right before the stream, right? And I got to give a shout out to this person, even though he didn't mean to do it as more as a dig, where he's like, yeah, I think the only reason people that are getting this Alphacore book is because of Chuck Dixon. And I'm like, I fail to see the fucking problem.
Where's the problem?
Like,
Yeah.
I fail to see the issue there. I fail to see the problem there. If that's the reason why people are wanting to get into it, because they love Chuck's approach, they love his writing, I fail to see the issue there. No issues there. And I think that will inevitably happen with Jen and Sylvia, with what they bring to the table. With Yaira, there's going to be a lot of newly added fans, let's say, of the Rippaverse that were brought in from their world, that are more attracted to their style of writing and some of the characters that they're handling. And I'm okay with that. That's the point. This isn't some like it's when I hear people, I think people get it twisted, right? I think some people think like it would, because I heard them say it. They'd be like, "Hey, is it bad that I like, even though I like Isam, right? I like Alphacore more." I'm like, why would that ever be a problem? Like it's not called the Isam verse, man. Like that's not the name of what it is.
It's all you, man. It's all you.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, the imprint's there regardless. So it's like, I don't, if you like Saska's over myself, you like Chuck, you like Mike Barron, right? You like, because fucking holy shit, Gooding. It's so good. It's so good. It is a boy, what a change of pace that's gonna be from Yaira. And there are gonna be people that gravitate towards that. There is nothing wrong with that. That's what we're building here. We're building a place where people can, it has a living and breathing. It feels like a living and breathing universe that's constantly being fleshed out, constantly being added upon. And there's so many different perspectives. It's not just from the characters themselves and the perspective that they have within the universe, but also with the stories from that's coming from those writers. And they're all unique. You know, Chuck's unique, Mike's unique, Jenna Sylvia's, they're unique people, and they have a unique way of telling the stories. And some people are going to like that over like certain projects, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's about you being able to get lost. I mean, you know, if you look at it even from the perspective of like some of the bigger publishers that have universes as well, if let's say a character like Punisher is liked over Spider-Man or vice versa, nobody's tripping off of that, because it's just what it is. Like, those are the characters that people gravitate towards. There's nothing wrong with that. We very much have a similar approach. I think we just care a lot more about kind of the canon of it all, because we're at the ground level, so we kind of got to make sure our rules are established. So we focus a lot on that and fleshing that out. So, you know, look, this has been a wonderful opportunity, and I can't say it enough, because I'm learning. I'm constantly learning. When I pick up, you know, Jen and Sylvia, they have other scripts as well, NDA. It's not just Yaira that they've done, and I read that.
Can you guess who it is?
Oh my God, guess everything.
yeah. You can guess all you may. You won't know until we tell you, but you can guess all that you may. That
I'll psychically tell you.
So there's other stuff that they've been working on, and I'm like, I pick it up, and I'm like, damn,
I'm Professor Excited.
and I read it, I'm like, oh, holy shit, man, this is so good. And all that makes sense. Like, there's a particular character that I will not name that has some similarities to a character.
Oh, we get it. You know everything.
Yeah. But there's a character that has a certain similarity to another character, and I was like, that I created, and I'm like, oh, that connection is so cool, and how they made that play out, right? And again, these are things that I wouldn't have ever thought about, and that's why you need people. You need people like that around. We're all making each other better. I mean, I remember talking about this in our last meeting. You know, Chuck hears the Saskas and their enthusiasm, and it's inspiring for him as well, right? And vice versa. So that's what it is that we're building here. That's what it's about. Why is that so difficult?
You want to do what?
Yeah. but from your perspective as a fan, obviously you've kind of, I mean, we say this on our show all the time. Like, it's not like you have any inside information. We rock, we're hand in hand, but as far as like our show and everything, and we have a similar perspective on comics and all that, but you don't like know hardly anything, right? So it's just like
stuff I've hacked.
Right. So in understanding that, or lack thereof, like how has it been, like, kind of watching this thing kind of flesh out? We got Mike's edition coming soon as well. Like, definitely with you being as knowledgeable on comic books as you have been, what has it been like from your perspective, kind of seeing this whole thing kind of come about?
You said some stuff just then, which I'd like to address, which is we don't care in the Rippaverse if you gravitate towards a certain character, certain group of people. We don't mind. You know, you like Yaira above Ingrid, fine. You like that. You like Alphacore ahead of Isam, doesn't matter. It's not an ego. It's not an ego thing. I think one of the reasons why people kind of question, oh, well, if Alphacore's more popular than Isam, or if Yaira goes to the moon or whatever, Ooh, how do you feel about that, Eric? I think one of the reasons why is we, over the course of the last goodness knows how many years now, let's say decade to just kind of round it up, have been force-fed characters from the mainstream. And not just through comics, but we've been force-fed them through other media, TV, film. So people are being sold a lie. People are being told by the mainstream, these characters are popular. Captain Marvel's popular. Ms. Marvel's popular. Yeah, Chuck's face said everything right there. Everything. Everything that the regular person is thinking, Chuck's face just said it. And they're telling us that these characters are popular. So what do? They reboot the comic over and over and over and over and over again. What do? They push them in the TV shows nobody watches. Then what do? They push them into movies nobody watches. So the mainstream is trying to manipulate the marketplace based off a hero. You're not. The Rippaverse isn't. The Rippaverse is looking for talent. It's looking for creatives. It's looking for different voices. I mean, just if you put everyone together, just like the top row here, Eric, Chuck, Soskers. You know, add Mike Barron to the end there that we know that's working already. They're very different people with very different voices, indeed. And so it doesn't matter from your perspective what you like. I've been very open. I was interested in this. The moment I saw Isam 1, I was interested in Alphacore. I really enjoyed, even though I didn't read the book, I used my Professor Excited ability to see that the Alphacore fight, the Yaira fight, and Isam involved. I was interested in this group of people, particularly because we knew that they had connections with the police. How do you operate a superhero force when you have connections with the police? Surely they're above the police, but that's the way your sort of mind works when it comes to superheroes. So to read Alphacore and see them work within the confines of the law, I won't say any more than that right now. And how that can work as a group and what it, fractions or difficulties that it can create. That was it for me. I was just like, I like this. I'm really into this. Very excited for Yaira. Yaira seems like a completely different character than the rest. We've seen Isam.
Make her different shit.
Oh no!
I thought she was just tokenized Avery.
I can't wait to read 96 pages of her sat down, eating food, talking about her feelings. You know?
Sitting with her cat and her girlfriend.
Yeah, one page of her just punching of somebody out. They're out. Let's get back to talking about my fifis. Okay.
Where are we going to eat?
Yeah. Where are we going to eat next? Yeah, that's going to be. Now that we've eaten here, where do we go for coffee? Where do we go for brunch after? So it's it's great to have, like, Isam is quite self-focused and family-focused. That's where Isam's sort of been at a core. Alphacore, they are working heroes with abilities who are working within the constraints of law and order. And it's a great dichotomy to have there. Then you got Yaira, who seems rather anarchical and chaotic. And she don't give clearly she don't give a fuck from Vice and One. So we got to figure out why she's like that, what motivates her, what is driving her in that way. And obviously there's got to be more to it than that. We've got to get so things like that are going to be drip fed throughout time. There is, from a fan perspective, it's so exciting to be at ground level, a start of a whole movement. Call it whatever you want. We talk about mainstream comics. Rippaverse is shifted 117,000 comics in total now.
And that's what y'all know about. Like, that's not even including like the sales of like between campaigns and all that. That's not even
or all that sort of stuff, which is going on. So to be part of something that feels like it is created for fans, that you want to create a product that fans are going to be on board with, and throwing darts at the board, see where people see where people land. You're going to get people that are going to be pushed towards Isam. Yeah, I'm sort of interested in Isam, not interested in others. So great. Yeah. Thank you for buying a book, you know. But you're developing a universe along the way. Even when it came to mainstream, was I buying every single DC book? No. I was buying what I wanted to read. I was buying the Bat Family, and that led to other things. That did open the door to other things, to Superman, to Green Lantern, to Green Arrow, or Green Arrow kind of came before them because Batman led to Green Arrow, actually. But things like, so that can lead people to other avenues. And to be there right at the start, I mean, this campaign had the get it all as well. You could get your Isam, you could get your Isam 2, then you could get your Alphacore as well. So you could see the sort of pictures which are beginning to be painted. People like that. People want to feel part of it. And I do think people feel part of it. I think the Rippaverse has been very accessible for everybody. Yeah. The fact that the books are made. So when the campaigns are going, you're shipping during the campaigns. There's no waiting around. Customers like that sort of business. You know, if I'm paying my money now, I want my product as soon as possible, humanly possible. You know, I understand the differences between pre-ordering and campaigning, etc. But it's great. It's done. Oh, yeah, we're going to do this campaign, but the product's done. It's in the warehouse. So it's like, well, you don't have to wait. Everything's like coming out. We know when Yaira comes out, brilliant. Gooding's next. Then the campaign for Gooding. The book's there. Then whatever's coming. And we know stuff's coming. I mean, you won't fucking tell us. But we know stuff's coming. So just as a comic book reader, and as somebody that's been massively disillusioned by the mainstream, to have talent, the breadth of Chuck Dixon, Mike Barron, meeting the Soskas, reading No Restraints Playing, just absolutely adoring that book, and realizing that you know, Yaira's, there's no tokenization here. These are people. These are POTs. Mm-hmm. These are people with talent who are coming in to shape this universe, and that's what we want. And Princess Diana, sure. Hey, come on.
She's
now.
so excited. We bring her to work every time.
She wants to know what's coming.
Yeah, I'll take that. Stoked on the Rippaverse. I will absolutely take that. But yeah, it's and I'll ask the other writers as well, and Chuck and Jen and Sylvia, like what their experience is, because, and I wanted them to speak on it, especially you, Chuck, because I know you've been around a lot of creatives over the years and kind of telling the difference, right? Just coming from I'll say this coming from music, right? One of the things that I had to learn really fast, right, in songwriting, let's say that, is that there's a difference in not only just how they view things or how they listen in the music case, but just the overall approach. Like, I'm as a writer, as a songwriter, as the performer, writing something to impress or for your peers versus writing something from the audience, right? Or for the audience are two completely different things, right? And I say this coming from metal. Yeah, we have all these uber talented, like our guitarist is crazy talented. If I wanted to have him do sweeps do the entire fucking song, we could do that. Right, we could do it, and it would impress a lot of guys. Oh, look how technical that Kevin is as he's doing these things. But as far as writing our song in our format, right, with us floating around the hardcore and metalcore stuff, we got to pick our spots, right? Solo goes here. You know, we need a hook here. It's just a different kind of thing. And while the peer might be like, well, they wouldn't have done it that way, or they'll say, well, this is you know, not as good because you're not doing this and following this rule that we're supposed to have. And, you know, the song performs well, which is ultimately who you're doing it for. Like, can you guys speak as creatives, especially, you know, you, Jen and Sylvia as well? You guys have done stuff with the film industry. Like, how is that thought process? It's like, all right, I'm writing for an audience, and definitely in a competitive, you're like, it's a gig economy, right? So like, definitely you know this, Chuck, you got to go best on sales, right? If your sales start getting to a certain point, we're talking about new projects to getting taken off of X project. That's kind of what comes with it. So what is that perspective when you're trying to, you know, write for an audience, for a buyer, actually, not just a viewer, like, or someone listening, someone that's willing to reach in their pockets, right, and trade capital with you or with the company, with the retailer, or whoever's buying to actually get that product in hand. Like, how, I start with Chuck, like, how is that process?
Well, I mean, I'm always thinking about the person reading it. Like I said, I don't want to bore people. I'm always thinking about the casual reader, not the hardcore fan, because the hardcore fan is generally on your side to begin with. I want to capture new readers.
There
I
you go.
want to engage from the very beginning. I mean, you look at Alphacore 1, I worked hard to draw you into that story in the first couple of pages. And then the job is to not let you go. And a lot of that is, I mean, I'm an invisible hand writer. Other writers can see what I'm doing, but the reader can't. It's like a magician, you know.
It's a pretty good first page there, Chuck.
Open big. You got to open. You don't open with two people at Starbucks talking.
Well, that's why you lose. That's why you lose.
Well, that's why I've never won an Eisner. So, but yeah, I'm always in my mind when I'm writing like superheroes and things like that. I picture a precocious 10-year-old, and that's who I'm writing for. And you know, that's my job, to grab you and keep you to the end of the story. Now, as far as, you know, how my peers view the work, yeah, I wanted to be seen as an equal. I wanted to see that I could hack it. You know, I wanted guys like Archie Goodwin and Larry Hama and Denny O'Neil to say, yeah, you know what you're doing. You know, one of my greatest moments in comics is in a conference call with a bunch of Hollywood types and Stan Lee. And the Hollywood types were giving me all kinds of shit about what I had written. And Stan said, leave him alone. Chuck knows what he's doing. And it's like, you couldn't live with me for 3 days after that. My head was so big, it's a wonder I could get out through my office door. So, you know, that's cool. But, you know, the most important thing is, number one is sitting here making stuff up. And number two is getting people to like it and read it and want to read more of it. And I'm thinking about that all the time. Every writer, and the Saskas can tell you this, and Eric, you probably do this too. When you're writing, the question you're asking yourself all day long, is there a better way to say this?
For sure.
A better way to present this.
Absolutely.
You're never going with your first instinct. This ain't Jeopardy. You know, you're not going with your first answer.
For sure.
So that's my take.
What about you, Jen and Sylvia? Like, definitely, I mean, I can imagine coming from film, and there's a lot of, you know, I get it. Look, with creatives, that'd be the first one to say there's a lot of snobbiness, right, that comes with it, right? With other, not with obviously fans. I'm just saying with other creators, right? Where it's like, you know, they feel some kind of way, and they feel like their perspective is the only one that ever exists. So, I mean, I can imagine it's probably worse in filmmaking. You know, I can imagine that
ego in filmmaking.
Yeah.
I've never seen it,
especially not creatively.
No, I feel like nobody would sync a movie because of their own ego.
I just gave you the perfect example: Stan Lee versus a room full of Hollywood executives.
Oh my
there you
God.
go. They somehow think they know more than him, for sure.
Right.
I say there's two types of writers. There's people who are writing for an audience, and there are people who are writing for themselves. And a good writer will write for an audience, but I like to write like a parable, that you get what I want to tell you without me beating you over the head for it. Our most famous movie is American Mary, and it's about body modification and underground surgery. And I remember when we made the movie, everyone was like, oh, those people are freaks. And I'm like, well, that's why we're making the movie, because we have absolutely no empathy for these people. And we got into very big discussions about what is like acceptable, like cosmetic surgery. Is that better than turning into a tiger? Like why is one okay and one isn't? It's because like one is accepted as beautiful and one isn't. However, when you're writing just for yourself, I call that fan fiction.
Yeah.
Like that's just torturous. And I've seen movies where I go to the director after and I'm like, that was kind of for you, huh? Like we didn't really need the torture scene to go on or the double sexual assault. I'm like, I think you kind of said it already. At a certain point, it becomes audience torture. Or there's the director or the creator that's like, I'm going to show off how smart I think I am in the writing. Yeah. That's not how you do it. The audience, you're supposed to give them little pieces so they figure it out, so that they take something from it. I hate it when somebody will read like a book or watch a movie and everyone has the same takeaway from it. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be something that's interpretive. But then we have things like Saw, where the last 5 minutes is telling you exactly what to think and exactly what to feel. Great movie, but it kind of started to simplify things.
Yeah, and I think in everybody's job in the arts, you're either a gun for hire or you're an auteur. And I think because we're twins and just weird, we kept thinking we were making very mainstream things. And it wasn't until we started working for the WWE that they're like, don't put all of your weird twisted twin stuff in there. And we're like, weird twisted twins? What are you guys talking about? We're mainstream horror directors. And they're like, no. And eventually, if you're an auteur, you have to work a little harder to get your name out there, just like Eric did there. But you have longer lasting power because when you're a gun for hire, you have no voice. You're just doing whatever. We call them action cut directors. I think Nerdrotic really does a good job by saying casting directors.
Yeah, because they just cast them as directors just so they're there and they show up on red carpets and say, the movie is great. I don't know what the audience is talking about. Haha.
The amount of friends I have that I'm like, oh my God, you're working on this huge movie. And they're like, not me. I'm just sitting in the corner. The producers are saying everything. There are big movies where there's like 12 producers sitting behind the monitor and you wonder why it's like done to death, because until every producer nods their head, you can't move on. And they're watching it like this. One more take. One more. Is Michael Fassbender Magneto yet? Yeah, it's sick. 2 more. Thank you. Why is this movie shit? Why is it going over budget? Where's Bryan Singer? Oh my God, what's happening? Oh my God. Yeah, like, so have different priorities. And, you know, when your priority is entertaining people, like at the Rippaverse, people get entertained. And I think it's a weird concept that people are like, well, I'm going to shit talk this comic book character. And it's like, that's cool. We used to shit talk who was more powerful all the time.
That's what the used to be about. So it's whatever.
So it's nice. It's like a return to like cool stuff. And I don't think you give yourself enough credit, Eric, even though you're the most highly criticized man in comics I've ever seen.
You are the John Cena of comics.
You are the John. Like they get angry. They get Eric. Eric sucks. Let's go, Eric. Eric sucks.
That works for me. That works for me.
Well, I remember when you first hired us and we had our first creative meeting and you pitched us all the NDA stuff I can't talk about. And I was like, whoa, I've never read that in a comic before. And I'm a giant nerd. Wow, that it like actually really affected me. And then I was like, cool. And then you gave us this other character or characters or group of characters. I don't know, maybe.
Or nothing at all.
Man, I don't know.
Sorry for us and being like, they get more books. They don't. And it was such a big part of making this character have its own thing. And it's kind of cool because it's all world building. It's all universe building. And now I think the fans, once they have Isam 3 and all of the books from this year, they'll be like, oh man, he was like a genius with his pacing. That's why he did this and this and this and this there. Because you being highly criticized, at least it keeps us humble and honest, right, Eric?
Oh yeah, that's what it's about, man. I welcome and embrace that, and I'd rather it be me than anybody else. I love that no matter what happens, it all comes back to me. Like, and I'm okay with that, right? Because I can handle it. I've been in the fucking public sphere for as long as I have, so if I got to be the one to take the brunt of the attacks, I'm fine with that. I'm perfectly fine with that. That works for me. But at the end of the day, to you guys' points, I mean, we are here trying to entertain our actual audience. That's who we do it for. And that's always in my mind with how it is that I create. Again, this was something that I picked up a lot with music. As a songwriter, I people that knew me back in the hip hop scene when I was doing all this other shit, like over like lyrical. I don't say over lyrical. It's just more of that's what I another rapper could respect that, but another like an audience member, you kind of got to pace it in a different way because they don't understand that type of stuff that flies over their head. I had to do that in music. I mean, when I was in Fire from the Gods, that was one of the biggest changes that we made. We left. I joined it. They were a deathcore band, right? That was it. It was no singing. It was just balls heavy chugging and fucking me screaming at the top of my lungs. And then I was like, okay.
Sounds like a video from me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But that was all that it was. And then I was like, okay, well, we can still be technical. We can still be we can have some aspects that really show the instrumentation here. but this would take it to the next level and make it a little more digestible if we added this. And that's when we started bringing in like singing elements of it all. And that's so it's the same. The reason I bring that up is because I remember making that change and a lot of people didn't like it. And by people, I mean peers, right? That were listening to us as other musicians. Like, why would y'all now do this, right? You're distorting this, you're doing that with the genre itself. You're not as good, but we were more popular than we had ever been before by making those adjustments. It's the same thing here. It's like even I, as a creative, like have to try to catch myself, even as a writer. I'm like, look, I'm not writing for myself. Like this isn't some yeah, I guess it's you could argue it's a passion project because I'm very passionate about this, but I'm not writing it for myself. I'm writing it for the people that actually like this type of stuff, right? I'm not doing it for myself. I'm not doing it for haters. I'm doing it for the people that are actually into it, and that's my approach. And I think that's everybody's approach here. Is like we're trying to entertain first and foremost, and I get. It's therapeutic for me as a writer anyway, no matter what it is that I'm doing. So I'm good with it. I'm always trying to keep tapped in on what our audience is responding to. Even with like Isam 1, there's a reason why, you get the Yaira book, you get the Alphacore book, and after Isam 2, you immediately get the Gooding book because, well, that's what the audience demanded. It wasn't simply, I might have had another character that I thought was cool that I could have did something off of, but the audience more so responded to this character versus that character. So that's the one that we wanted to give a graphic novel to. That's what we wanted to give an ongoing series to, because that's who the audience wanted, and that's who we're doing this for. I'm not doing this for anybody else other than you guys out there, and this is why I'm so appreciative of the fans it is that that we have here. You guys again make this type of stuff go around. So Andrew, I know we haven't had an opportunity to hear from you much, but like I said earlier, you're tapped in, right? You know what's going on. You kind of got your eyes on the projects it is that everybody here has been working on, but you're in a more creative role where it's more of facilitating as opposed to just directly writing or directly doing the art or something like that, which again, that's a different perspective, right? So you're seeing it differently. We've talked about our cards and making sure, you've been an editor. We'll talk about this maybe afterwards, right? When people see the cards, but there were some key things that Andrew caught, right? Like he's like, well, wait a minute, like because of this, and this, and we're doing this card, the card needs to say this. Right. So you're coming at it from a different perspective where you're caring about the continuity, you're caring about the canon a lot. And yes, you as a social media, you're keeping tabs on the audience as well. And as far as their perspective. So you also been here from the get-go. Like it's not like you just kind of you were in an addition. So you've seen the growth immediately. So how is that perspective, if you can say it, for the audience as a more of a creative management kind of role for you?
It's incredibly humbling because I get to be surrounded by people who are so demonstrably more talented than I am in just about every single way. And that's how I like it, because that gives me something to aim for. Eric, you're a runner. You don't get faster racing people that you already know that are slower than you, right? It's the same thing. You want to be around people that you consider superior to you in some way.
Only way you get better.
Yeah, there's no better person to get better at writing comic books around than, being next to Chuck Dixon. There's no better way for any artist to get better at what they're doing than to have Kanan White's eyes on their work all the time. Man, and you already know, because we talk about all the time, the elevation that we get to see. And I love and I'm so blessed to be able to have like even a small hand in that, like on the editorial side, being able to, as you said, like make sure lore stays within its proper sandbox, because as this thing continues to grow, that's going to become all the more integral. And we're going to be able to, as we bring on new writers and new artists, we're going to be able to point to the things that we have already locked down, because we have the twins that have been working on the Universe Bible.
Yep.
And I've had the fortune to be able to help them out with a few things on that. and we're going to be able to show those
things. It's so much work. No, I'm kidding.
Chuck, that one book you did, man. There's a lot of people there, dude. Fuck.
and we're going to be able to point to the Universe Bible so that continuity remains, right? Because that's so integral. That's something that I think all of us care about, and it's something that the mainstream clearly no longer does. So being able to have my eyes and my fingers on the pulse of both sides of the business, the internal on the creative, as well as the fans, because as you said, we're doing this for the fans, right? And they're how we stay in business. So we want to give them what we want. And the great thing about the autonomy that we have is that we have that agility to be able to pivot towards whatever it is that they seem to actually show us. And we know that they're being truthful with us when they say they want this thing, because they're already buyers. So when fans were telling us, hey, we want Yaira, well, shit, I guess we gotta freaking talk to somebody about writing Yaira, right?
Yep.
When people were telling us, after Isam 2, we want to see more Gooding. Well, damn, okay, Mike Barron was pretty gung-ho about wanting to do something with us. Let's hit him up, right? That has the makings of greatness right there, right? So being able to keep my finger on the pulse of what the fans are doing on social media and in our Gilded, so many, theory conversations going on in there every single day, but being able to see the creative process at that ground level, getting to see Joe Bennett's pencils, Deborah Carita's pencils, the scripts being written by Chuck and Mike and the sisters. It's wild, man. And it's an incredibly blessed position to be in. And I can't think of a better place to be.
Yeah, it's man, it's just kind of crazy seeing it unfold. I look at our growth, the growth that we've had, and I mean, it hasn't even been 2 years, man. It's kind of crazy to imagine that. Like, what the fuck? Like, we're
literally just getting started.
Yeah, like we are in the context of what I would hope this would last for a while. There we go. We are just getting started.
There we go.
And right after this, of course, we are going to have that wonderful Yaira book, which is, again, something else that's insane to think about. That we're coming off this very incredibly successful campaign, $3 million campaign in a row, and we have this mammoth that we've been sitting on.
We're only 3 books in.
Yeah,
another $1 million campaign. Stop failing so hard, dude.
I will.
Wow, how
Wow,
dare you?
$1 million.
3-4, by the way. But okay.
How crazy! We're only 3 books in. Like with any good team, you only get better as you keep working together. Like you and Cliff, man. Isam 3 is so far and away the best Isam book.
It's not even close either.
Not only on Cliff's side when it comes to his art, but also on the writing side.
I agree.
You can see how you two have worked better and better together over the course of the 3 books. Yes. And it's super obvious. And anybody that's enjoyed Isam's story so far is going to very clearly see that. I can't wait to see. Okay.
Well, Eric,
you can NDA yourself.
The bar that I had to NDA myself. No, you're not that easy. Not that easy. The bar that
this is the face
Chuck and Joe set with their first project, like that's what Alphacore 1 was. Chuck and Joe's starting point.
I know.
What the hell is the next thing gonna look like?
Ceilings. Oh man, it's what the hell? Like we're very much just getting started.
Yeah.
Just to pick up on actually what you said with Isam 3 being by far the best with Cliff and Eric. Eric, I don't like to address controversy, but I have to. There is a rumor going around that you actually traced the script.
Yes.
For Isam 3.
I can confirm. I can confirm that I traced the actual script.
You villain! When will you be stopped, Eric?
I found out that I actually did the artwork not too long ago. I found out that it was me that actually did the artwork, and I'm learning. Apparently, maybe we do need to get this sketch out very quickly because apparently because
We're getting
apparently,
it.
Let's go, guys. Eric sketch.
because apparently I am the artist as well, which I was not aware of. I learned that myself. I must have did this shit in my sleep at some
That
point.
ambience wicked.
So yes, but no, it's no, it's to Andrew's point, like for sure it is by far, and you know, we mentioned Kanan, who's not here because he's working.
It's so good.
Not only is he so good, but his ability to elevate. That's why we brought him in as an art director. His ability to sit there and elevate just all of the artists here, like quite literally everybody, has been a fucking game changer. Like I can't say it in any other way. It's been an absolute game changer. So for Cliff, like Isam 3 is by far and large the best Isam book. Like it's not, I'm gonna be honest. I might be a little biased here, but it's not even close. Like I believe, and look, it's kind of designed to be that way, right? It's an arc. It's the finale of it all. So it is designed to be the best part of it. But just from my growth from Isam 1 to now, and as well as Cliff's growth, oh man, it's just so good. It's so good, and that's why I'm so excited. I can't wait for people to see what it is that we've been working on. But that's what it's about here at this company, man. We're always trying to get better, trying to improve. I pick up a lot on what the audience says, feedback, all that good stuff, so we can find out what new things we can implement. And it's both creatively and especially business wise as well, picking up on things and trying to improve there. Like I said, this was our most successful campaign in terms of our just general efficiency. Like we're starting to get it down, right? And it's just only going to be up. It's only going to go up from here. So Chuck, while we still have you here, I know we haven't had a chance to kind of talk about it, but I want you to give a pitch, if you will, on this for the people that may have been on the fence. I mean, we know we're at the end of the campaign, but they may be on the fence. They may have just stumbled across this stream and they're like, "What this is about? Holy shit, it's Chuck Dixon!" And they're like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Well, it's
Alphacore number 1.
It's a superhero action story combined with a police thriller. Art by Joe Bennett, which is just freaking jaw dropping. And you know, I had a lot of fun working on it. Joe had a lot of fun working on it, and it's a really cool new superhero universe that we're still exploring, we're still building, and you know, you got a whole team here that's earnestly creating a new continuity, a new comic book continuity for you, and that's exciting. And I'm just glad to be a part of it. And I'm looking for. Well, I've done more work, but I'm looking forward to doing even more. So, yeah, as you can see, as the sisters are holding up, this is just killer artwork. And
Meth Gary.
Meth Gary himself.
Yeah, hopefully an engaging story. So there you go.
It is an engaging story, not hopefully. It is.
It's absolutely.
It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
It's high energy, and at the same time, this just goes back to you being Chuck Dixon and being so good at this, because you made it a high octane story, tons of action. Obviously, Joe Bennett worked his magic every single panel, but you also managed to layer in and establish so much of the logistical stuff in our universe in that one book.
Yeah.
Like people that are actually paying attention. Yeah,
the amount of characters getting introduced that are not just from Alphacore and before Michael and much more fleshed out. The two villain Meth Gary, Billy. You know, we got. It's just like, how can you do that in 96 pages? It's
and I want to make sure everybody understands that, like, because someone asked me today about hey, is there some characters that the other creators that have wrote the stories that they've created. Number one, as far as ongoing series and graphic novels, yes, and that can be said for everybody, all the writers here. But my only contribution there, as far as the creation, are everybody you see basically on cover C. Is that right? That has everybody there. Outside of that, that's all Chuck. like that. All those villains and shit. Everybody, even some of the affiliates of Alphacore. That's all. That's all Chuck. So I wanted to be clear on that. Like that's all to his credit, man. Like some of those characters are fucking amazing.
Oh,
So
nice.
yes, everybody on that. If they're not those, that's all Chuck. That's all Chuck.
Well, you left me a great degree of freedom. I mean, you let me know that you had faith in me, and I can do a lot when I know that there's faith in what I'm doing. And I tend to write, especially when I'm writing for a new property. I'm kind of like a paramecium. It's all trial and error, and I just write it, not second guessing myself, and then gird for notes.
Yeah,
and there were no notes. So that made me very happy.
I think the notes were do it.
It's so slick, and the guys that you introduce and how you introduce them, you can tell everything about them and everything that's going to be done. And it's not like some characters like, you're like this because 5 years ago you were hit in the head with a pill and now you act like it's just the way that they treat each other and how they go through their beats, and it's just
it feels like all these characters existed for so long and we're just catching up with their lives. It's amazing. I feel like I can feel where Brian Solari is going emotionally, and Ingrid as well. I didn't expect to love the Alphacore so much.
Yeah, I didn't
because they're cops.
I didn't either.
No, I love cops.
I like cops
too. Dress up like a cop.
Couldn't eat a whole one though.
Anytime she is down.
Hell yeah. But yes, so guys, if you have not already, please go get in on Alphacore. Go to Rippaverse.com. We're actually updating it live right now as far as some of these sold out items. So you're gonna want to go ahead and grab those. I guess I can pull this up just really, really quickly. These CGCs, because those are selling out for sure. And so go ahead and grab one of those if you have not. Isam 2 is also hanging out, I believe, with this cover. Only B is left. So if you want to get that signed by Chuck Dixon, you're gonna want to grab that now. So big shout out to y'all. These numbers aren't accurate. Well, they're accurate, but they're not updated yet. So we're actively updating what it is that we're doing, man. So please, if you have not, go to Rippaverse.com. Click on the Alphacore #1 campaign, and you will see all of the items there. We got plenty for you. So, Chuck, how much more time do you have hanging out with us?
Well, I can hang out, to the hour and past.
All right, that's perfect. Okay. Okay, because I know there's some super chats and stuff, and we got.
Oh yeah, let's get to them.
Yeah, I want to get it to those because I'm pretty sure a bunch of them are mentioning you. Okay, let's start here. We got Dan with a 5 says, congrats to you, Chuck and Joe. Great book. I look forward to Yaira and mocking the idiot who spurred out over another Rippaverse win. There will be plenty of that.
I haven't noticed that at all.
Yeah, right. I haven't seen it. I don't even know what he's talking about, right? Shout out to Dan, man. Big ambassador for the Rippaverse, man.
Yeah.
We got Juggernauts with 50, I think. Yeah, 40. So we did it twice. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
Gifting 40 gifted subs. I appreciate that. That is a lot of subs, by the way. So welcome all the new members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much. We got as well Vito Prashad gifting 10. So thank you so much. That's back to back. That's 50 total from you guys. So thank you. I appreciate it. We have Ira Brown, which with a 5 says, thank you, Eric, Chuck, and the Rippaverse for this campaign. This was the one I was waiting for, and you all didn't disappoint. Well, that's what we aim to do. We want to keep giving you what it is you want. So we're glad that you were not disappointed in your purchase, and we hope to have you remain as a customer. My man's Bruce. With a 50. That is not cheap. Says Alphacore was a beast and Yaira on deck. Let's fucking go. Yes. That is right around the corner. So I appreciate you. Alphacore is man, by and large, I believe it's our best. It's been our most efficient. Everything combined The creatives involved are best up to date, man. And
God bless those hamsters, man.
yeah, they're gonna be needed. They're gonna be needed a lot.
They're juicing up as we speak.
Yeah, we got to keep them juiced up.
Totally legal though. Totally.
Yeah,
legal.
we wouldn't do anything illegal.
It's not venom or anything.
Yeah,
they want to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Bruce, thank you so much for the 50, man. Another big time ambassador for the Rippaverse, man. We got Fifth Shooter becoming a member for 3 months. I thank you so much as hell, Young Ripper. Thank you for that. We got JS Pena with it too. Says Leighton grooming. He says JS, that I guess that was before the stream, started.
Yeah.
Vito Brashad with a 10 gifted again. So that's 20 total from you today, man. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We got the Beast 6 months. Says let's fucking go. Remain blessed all. You got it. Appreciate that. The Beast, we got CJ with a 20 says thank you for this amazing book. Much love to you all. You guys are doing great. Can't wait for more. So I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, CJ. Because that ain't cheap. That's $20. So appreciate you again. You've been around for a while, man. This is a great panel here. Love it, says Ira Brown to the 5. Yes, want to make sure we close this thing out. I think I'm pretty sure we confirmed that I'm gonna later tonight. We'll be talking about the Rippaverse projects as well, obviously with Alphacore, a little bit with Flash on his channel. So that'll be cool. That'll be later tonight though. Wyatt with a 5 says, "Hey Eric, how you doing? Congrats, Chuck. I love the character Bane a lot. My second favorite Batman villain. Excuse me. Loved Alphacore, my favorite Rippaverse comic."
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Love that. Appreciate
You're not allowed to. You got to like Isam.
Yeah. Apparently, that's just so offensive to me that Alphacore is more like.
I don't think those people realize how much that screams they don't know shit about comics because like that's been a thing for comic universes forever. Like
Andrew, they ain't buying shit, mate.
Yeah, they're not even pirating anything. They're just doing this.
Apart from furry porn, but yeah.
God. They're just addicted to YouTubers. They're not actually comic fans.
Not at all. Seth Drylers with the 20 says, "Shout out to you all." He's been here for a minute. To all of you and the success, haters gonna hate. That's anticipated. Too bad for them. They'll get over it. Or not. That's not my problem necessarily.
Dogs bark, the caravan moves on.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Green-haired anti-liberal with a 10.
Oh, I love her.
One of the first for sure the first cosplayer of Ingrid Valdez.
Yeah.
That's her and
Krista.
And Krista did Yaira as well. So shout out to Greenhead anti-liberal with a 10 says, "Hell, Rippaverse Alphacore #1 was phenomenal, and I have now read it 3 times. Nice. Since the first time.
Wow.
Thank you, Chuck, Joe, and team. That end hits hard. Can't wait for Yaira Winter now." Absolutely. Well, thank you, Greenhead anti-liberal. It's just a fucking killer book. There's just no way.
We'll be talking about that on Wednesday.
Yeah, we will. We will for sure be having our spoiler discussions on that. Graph Web is always here to remind us to cancel Disney Plus. Always there. Steiner Math. I love this. What a 5 says, "Hail to the Rippaverse and the wonderful panel. Mr. Dixon loved Alphacore. Excited for Yaira and where this universe goes from here. Customer for life." Thank you so much.
The numbers don't lie.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Steiner said it himself. He said the numbers don't lie. So that's true. And look, I take that very, very seriously. The fact that there's people that invested in the Rippaverse, that they're all in on it, that's I do not want to let you guys down. So I appreciate you. Appreciate you big time. Jason Manning with a 5 says, "In old comics, it was usually primary colors for heroes, secondary for villains. Is there any significance to Alphacore being entirely green?" Well, that's the local police force, right? That's their colors. They don't wear like you see some places blue, navy, and all that stuff. Are in this universe, in Flores Park at least, the cops, or if you will, law enforcement, they wear green. So that's why they're all wearing green. Because remember, they are part of the police force. So
it's a uniform rather than a costume.
Yep. Okay, we have
congratulations on the designer then, because hello.
Yeah. Lee with the 5 says, loved Alphacore #1 and can't wait to see what's next. Braxwell is my homeboy. Braxwell is fun. He is no nonsense guy. Scott with 38 months, a long time, says just got my Alphacore book, going to read it on my cruise. Hell yeah.
Have a good cruise.
Yeah, have a great one, man. Says that I am going on. Gotcha. Man, appreciate that, man. Hope you have a wonderful cruise. And yeah, man, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love that book. JM with a 10 says Eric, Alphacore was top tier. Now give me that Yara #1 before I blast your ass.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
That is taken in so many different ways.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. No comment.
Some threats, which I'm fine. I'm fine with those kinds of threats. That's fine. That's anticipation. That's anticipation. So I'm fine for the well, not with the gay shit, but with the at least with the as far as the like the threat the threats of the anticipation. I'm all for that. That I'm all for. I'll always
You're gonna put this guy on your no parking list?
We lost Az. We lost Az.
If anyone needs me, I'll be on the floor.
Nah, seriously, JM, Yara's on the way. We're working it out. You guys are it's so good, man. Holy shit. It is so good. JM, I thank you so much for that. For that thing we have taken out as
we lost him.
Bye, Az. Rest in peace. He's dead.
Rip. Still leg of history. What's up, man? You know I love to see you here. Says, I'm so proud of you. Everyone there has been so kind to me and everyone. I've been enjoying Alphacore #1. I don't stop talking about it everywhere I go. Well, hey man, word of mouth.
That's it.
That's how it gets around. That's what this is about. So tell your friends, family, all of them about the Rippaverse, and they will maybe become fans. Maybe this is something that they're interested in. Look, man, this is kind of how we rock as a company. So we thank you. Crimson Shadow 1 month says Alphacore was awesome. You did great. Thanks. Yes, Chuck did do awesome, and that's just what he does. That's why he's here. Appreciate you, DJ Ryan, becoming a member. We got Ryan with a 10. So my favorite part of Alphacore is when Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker showed up. That was fantastic. And then Rush Out all over the place, stunning and brave. Hell, the Rippaverse team and the Silverback. God bless. I appreciate that 10. And, yes,
I would pay good folding money for a Rippaverse version of Rush Hour.
That
is one of my favorite movies ever.
Oh yeah, same here for sure. I could be down for that. Barbecue Pits with a 20 says, Rip, I blame you for the pothole problem in my hometown of Compton, you wicked son of a. And I'm pretty sure you had something to do with the speeding, literally thousands of dollars. Or you spending, literally thousands of dollars on River. Well, I could take credit for the former, at least, the latter, at least in some cases. But yeah, everybody's blaming me for everything, so I'll take responsibility for the potholes too, even though I'm not anywhere near there. So that's cool with me. How dare you? He says, Barbecue Pits, man. You know I love to see you here. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, where am I at? There we go. Kentucky Objective, appreciate that. Says Alphacore #1 was extremely fun. Spectacular job. 36 months. I appreciate that. Thank you. We have Scotty with a 5 over 7 million total sales, 117K books sold, and still critics say he's not the real
loser.
Isam is here for good. Deal with the losers. Yeah, look, we get it. It's just one of those things that I think I'll say this much. It speaks to the positives of the alternative realm that we're kind of floating around, and that these people don't have as much control as they thought that they did. And that's a great thing. I think that should be inspiring for people that want to do things maybe the not traditional way. Because yeah, to your point, it's that's a coping mechanism. Of course, they would love for us to somehow if they want to spin a brand new company making $7 million and selling 100,000 books, that's fine with me. Whatever helps them. If I have to play therapist for them to get through whatever they're going through, I'm fine with that. But seriously, I mean, you can't speak things into existence, not like that at least. And this should be inspiring, I think, to a lot of different creatives that who gives a shit. Like Sasha said all the time, the most criticized man in comics, and it hasn't changed shit. Like we're still being great. Alphacore it did wonderfully, and Yaira's going to do great, and we're here to stay. That's just
when you're over target, Eric. That's when you take the most fire.
That's what they say. That's what they say. So I welcome it. It's something I welcome. So Scotty, thank you so much for those kind words. You got Bruce. It's so awesome to be a part of this community. Yeah, the Rippaverse fandom, the creatives that are involved in it as well, from the content. Man, I thank y'all. Y'all rock with us, man. Y'all go to bat for us. Y'all, the theories and making this really, really a fun experience for everybody involved, man. You guys are very much a part of this process of us just, existing as a company. People, you're welcoming to people that want to be a part of it as well. So I appreciate y'all. So thank you. Thank you to the Rippaverse community. We have 32 flavors of Nick Wise. I love to see you as well, man. With a 5 says thanks for giving us, the fans of Comic Universe, to get excited about. This is what it is about. Appreciate that.
We're excited too. So
we are. That's a fact. And I think that's, we should put that by the wayside. Like this, everybody here is invested. Like we're all invested in it, and this is fun. Like this is what we want to do. We got Black Ice with a 10. Says, can't wait for Alphacore #2. The story and art were phenomenal. Question for everyone: can a lone hero in a horror story work without a supporting cast? Also, is it weird that my fitness idol is Bane?
No.
Well, you speaking to a genre that I don't know. We have maybe a couple of people here that know.
Pick us, coach.
know a little bit about that. So I'll for sure let them field this question. So
if you could figure out a horror movie with a lone hero, that is very cost effective and that is very marketable, and any producer would freak out. But I would suggest you make the movie on your own so you have creative freedom, because then you can put your cinematic identity out before you have to perhaps get a job where you won't have so much freedom. So you'll always be known as the guy who did this one character horror, and you can really build off of that.
I'll give you an example of where that story works. Misery. We have a lone hero, and it's fucking phenomenal. Oh my god, Kathy Bates does not get the respect that she deserves.
Yeah,
oh my,
it was so strong.
Wonderful. And if also to play devil's advocate to solve, if you have a contained horror movie with like 2 people, you can pitch to like Blumhouse.
Honestly,
like,
it's a
everyone
really
will be like,
thing.
oh my god, is that under $1 million? Greenlight it. 2 people talking. Greenlight it. I think that's phenomenal. And I also say with storytelling, because you're the storyteller, you can tell a story whatever you want, the way you want to. Don't let anyone ever tell you, not even us, how you can or cannot tell a story.
Yeah, you create your own rules.
Your audience tells you if you did it right.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
True.
Yeah, or maybe not. Like American Psycho was a failure in the box office, and then the fans took it and made it this cult classic. You never know when your audience is going to find you. Fight Club failed at the box office. Like
that's true as well.
Things happen all the time. Some people said they didn't like Isam 1. Like, so there are people who have bad opinions out there. I don't know.
People are wrong every day. It's fine.
I don't get it. Like, to each their own. I try not to be judgmental.
Oh, appreciate that, Black Eyes. Thank you. That's a great question. Great question. Keely Chow with a 4 months says, congratulations to Chuck Dixon. This Hell Rippaverse Hell Comics Gate. Appreciate that 4 months. And yes,
thank you.
Chuck Dixon deserves all of the credit here. We got great U.S. treasure hunts with a 5 says, legendary because there's no L when you spell Chuck Dixon.
Nice.
No L's get caught
no
over here. None whatsoever. Just dubs all day long. So yeah. Crimson Shadow with a 2 says, congratulations, Chuck Dixon. Hell Rippaverse, he says. Destiny Cookie 9 months says, let's go. Yeah, Yaira is it's around the corner. It's around the corner. It's around the corner. Paul Height with a 5 says, cover B reminds me of something that I would have begged my father to buy me at a comic shop. You're all amazing. Love American comics. Waiting for y'all. Yes, that's the Jack Herbert cover.
That cover's so clean.
Yeah, I love that. I love how that turned out. For sure. So most definitely. Paul Height, appreciate you. And then we have Black Eyes with a 5 said, what was Chuck's favorite part of Alphacore? Did he even read it?
No.
My favorite part was when he saved the boatload of Inuit children from evil Russian railroad.
Yeah, Chuck.
That was awesome. I can really empathize with that part. That was
top 3 for me for sure.
Joe just killed it on those pages.
Yeah.
And went home to kiss his boyfriend.
It was a dynamic double spread there.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh man. Appreciate that, Black.
That's what really matters.
Jeremy's Secret Racism with the 2 says, looking forward to Meth Gary Chronicles Volume 1 this year by Chuck Dixon and Sasa sisters.
Wow, that would be an honor to
Silverback verse.
And traced line art by Eric.
Yeah, Trace.
Yeah.
Because apparently I am an artist, so
that's full court press.
Yeah. Also excited about Silverback versus Isam next year. He's just throwing out titles that I wasn't even aware
Has that
of.
been leaked yet? I don't know. Shit.
Gosh, we greenlit that one already.
Apparently,
I must break all of you instead of just you.
Appreciate that. Josh Kelsey with a 20. Thank you so much for that. Okay, we got as Blood and Ice concept, Blood Ruth v. Ira. Fire says Jeremy's Secret Racism with a 2.
Yeah, you like that Blood and Ice, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh.
I can see that. Johnny with a 10 says, as Maynard said last Friday at Tool sold out Madison Square Garden show, put your phone down, be here for the journey. Hell to the journey. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate that 10 from you. Joker's Disciple with a 5 said PSA for my Rippaverse piece. Careful buying CGCs in the Wild West. That is eBay. Very questionable. Isam 1 gem mint being sold there. Hell and Stay Frosty. Well, it's very possible that there's a 10 out there. Like that wouldn't be unheard. It definitely if it's cover C, which I think it is. I think we've seen that one.
I was gonna say, didn't we see
we
a
saw,
10?
Yeah, we saw a 10
cover,
and that's 100% legit. But I mean, that's with anything. Yeah, you want to vet your information, and CGC. I mean, you can really just go on their site and they can kind of tell you if it exists, for sure. So
yeah, they're pretty serious people.
Yeah,
they wouldn't let me in the building when I stopped by. So
yeah, exactly. So
wow,
they'll tell you. If it actually exists, but there very much is a Isam 1 gem mint for sure. I remember seeing it. So yeah. Let's see what else we got here. Miles with a 5 says, "Hell, Rippaverse arrived to stream late. Pump for next release. Hashtag Yaira. Mr. Dixon Alphacore was excellent." He says, "Thank you, sir." Sasa Rock, Hell, ripping ass. Appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, we got Marcus with a 5 says, "Will there be any announcements for the Rippaverse with Yaira's release?" Well, there'll be. I mean, look, once we wrap up this campaign, right, going into next week, we are preparing some special things. So let's just say that we got some cool things, cool items that we're gonna put up for sale. Oh yes, the Braxwell shirt. I almost forgot about that. I need to get with you. Hey, you mind messaging Kristen on that, Andrew? I just thought about that. I don't know if we even have a graphic for that, but hopefully Eric can put something together because I almost forgot about that. At some point, maybe it's not tomorrow. At some point, the Braxwell shirt that you guys saw at the end of Alphacore will be put up in the store. Yeah.
What about the prototype hat?
The prototype hat, not so much.
Oh my God, the Yaira booty shorts. They haven't arrived yet.
No, yeah, we haven't got those at the warehouse quite yet to put those up for sale. So
yeah, I've been sleeping good with the Yaira body pillow. Like I feel like
yes. Yeah, that is a thing. But yes, Marcus, there will be some announcements.
Cold to the touch.
Yeah. See what you did there. Larry Parker with a 10 said, just plain boggles my mind how much BS Eric deals with just for doing what he says he is going to do. How that works. Crap honestly gets on my nerves. Keep at it. Thank you for inspiring me. Appreciate you. All right, look, like I said, I kind of welcome it. I mean, it's just one of those things that you get in a position like this, and, you know, I guess it cements where we're at, because they are quite literally trying to nip at the ankles here. So let them do it. We're fine. They're little chihuahuas. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. We'll keep grinding and we'll keep doing our thing. Don't worry about it. I can handle it. Oh, nothing. Sorry, Eric, but I have to spoil this.
Oh no!
Eric's sketch was a 3D asset.
Marcus, put me on blast.
Yeah, Eric's sketch was a 3D asset. Nah, it couldn't. It would have been a lot better if it was. That's for fucking sure.
We're coming for it. We're gonna get it with the Yaira campaign. You better have it framed and ready.
All right, got you. Roger that.
That book looks and reads like it wants to release the Yaira sketch or the Eric sketch. So
yeah, he's the only other one that's seen it for sure. Marco sees it. So,
he's confirmed it's not a legend. It's true.
No, it's legit. It's fucking legit, and it's shit, but it's legit. That's for sure.
It's shit and legit.
Yeah, shit and legit. That is for sure. Seisu with a 5 says, got Alphacore this Christmas. New fan here. Just a thought. What about a new hero inspired by Stargate, Ancient Aliens theory? Cammy, this dog just hit her head under this. I know that hurt. She's trying to worry about getting this damn ball. I know that hurt. but yeah, I look, we can do anything. That's what we're doing now. We're creating. There'll be some cool stuff of different genres, and just wait. Just you wait. Let's see. Raleigh with a 5 says, Literature Devil once said that Alphacore should be the Rippaverse's main characters. But you said the Rippaverse has no main character. Right. Can you explain? Well, it's true. I think, and I've mentioned this about, you know, as good as great as I'll even argue, as Lit's analysis can be, it's a very kind of narrow scope of because he's looking at it from a critic's perspective. It's a very narrow scope in how he views it. So I get it, right? Because some other people think that as well. There's no main character in the Rippaverse, right? Isam just launched it. He just launched the damn thing. Like that was just all that it was. And yeah, that came with a certain set of responsibility, for sure. And as of right now, he's had our most successful campaign. But there's no main character. And if there is going to be one that people gravitate towards the most, that's not determined by us, right? That's going to be determined solely by the audience, and their reception and how they respond to it. So there's no main characters. Yes, there's characters that have their ongoing series. There's characters that will continue to have stories wrote about them. Yeah, you got Alphacore, you got who are very prominent in our universe. You have Yaira, you got Isam, but whoever the customers decide that they're going to gravitate towards, that's who it is that they gravitate towards. It's not us trying. That's manufactured. If we're trying to sit up here and make this character, definitely in a universe as big as this, or it's going to be as big as this, like trying to force it. I mean, we were just talking about that with like some of the big guys doing that. You know, you talked about that earlier, as like trying to force a character onto the audience, right? As like, hey, this character is really prominent, and they're not really, but they want them to be so bad, and you can see it in the actions. That's just not how we do business here. So
fans are just going to organically gravitate towards whatever they like the best.
Yeah.
So that's a no for my female Captain Rippa #1.
Yeah, that's
a powerful woman in the universe.
The problem with that, Chuck, is it'll be written by you and would actually probably be good.
It would actually probably be a good book, yeah.
And that's where things fall apart for the other people, you see. But if let's just let's say Yaira sells 100,000 copies, right? That you know that the Rippaverse is gonna be like, okay, this is clearly an indication for the audience about who they want to see and what they want to see, so we'll do that. Gooding. Right. If it does 50, 100,000, they're like, okay, it's about pivoting. You've got such a great position to be in to be able to pivot based on sales. Isam sold a fortune. It sold a massive amount of copies. Alphacore, 22,000 copies.
Yeah.
Gone. These are huge. The biggest compliment you were ever getting, and people say these are your naysayers. They're not. They're not your naysayers because they are showering you with praise because you are constantly compared to DC, Marvel, Batman, X-Men, Superman, and they think they're owning you. They're not owning you. They're fucking showering you with petals, roses, and everything. If that's where they want to go on a company that was made with a guy's money that's less than 2 years old. Yeah. Oh, you think you could do as many sales as the X-Men? It's hilarious to see. So you're in a great position because you can pivot. Yeah. You've got the people to do it. You've got the know-how to do it. You've got unbelievable experience, unbelievable enthusiasm, and it exudes from the company, no matter which employee you're talking to. And so, it's such an awesome position for you to be in, to be able to tweak and change at almost like a moment's notice. It's great.
Yeah, man, like I said, that's what it's about. And so to your point, that was the point it was that I was making. And then one thing I add to that as well, because we're talking about like the scope. And I'll let the ladies and Chuck speak for themselves in terms of how they write things. Like I certainly don't go into a #1. Yes, am I trying to write the best to my ability? Yeah. But I think there's a difference, right, between writing like the introductory to a universe, right, to like trying to do some like big dramatic event, right. I think the approach is a little different, right, in terms of how I would approach that. So, it's not Isam 1. It wasn't wrote for Isam to be the main, quote unquote, main character or the main character of the universe. There's no such thing. The audience will determine who it is that they gravitate towards, and that's all. I don't care if it's Yaira. Like again, to everybody's point, Yaira comes out, it makes sucking $7 million or something fucking just absolutely bonkers. I'm gonna be like, well, that's fine with me. Like,
here's a question: what is Batman's first appearance in comics?
Yeah, that was
Detective 27.
Yeah,
right? There was 26 Detective comics before you got to Batman.
Yeah,
and then look what's happened to Batman. So it doesn't matter where it comes from. It's when lightning strikes.
True.
And when they get something, and the audience, a market develops around it. That's what happens.
Yeah, Detective 27 at DC, they were sitting there waiting for the returns, and there weren't any. And wow, they must have liked this. They must have liked something about this issue.
Yeah.
This Batsamans. They must have liked something about him. This Bat-man, because sure, come on, yeah. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what happens.
And again, that's how it works. So it's like, who knows, man? We'll be, 3-4 years from now, there's another character that got created out of it, and then who knows? That's the biggest character we now have because of that. Like that's how it works, man. You can't be. I learned to not be like totally married to songs, right? Because you never know. You guys heard me talk about this with music, and we'll do an album, and I might love a song or something like that, and the audience like, yeah, it's not bad. And then there's a song which I was like, oh man, we're putting it in the album. It's good, but it shouldn't be a single, and it ends up being our most fucking popular song. That's just kind of how it works. You never know with these types of things because you're dealing with individuals. You can guess, you can try to give them what it is that they want, but you'll never know. So that's why, Isam was very much a launching point. And yes, there was it came. If you look at it and read it in context, yes, it was the point was to not just launch his own individual story, but also the universe itself, right? So that it did have that tall order. But Isam it's not like if that were going to be the case, I would have just called it an Isam verse. Like if that was what it was going to be. No, but that's not what it is. It's about all of the characters that are in the universe, and you guys buy what the books it is that you want, the characters it is that you want to see. You let us know, and that will determine who the more notable characters are. But we're not building a company around only like around Isam just because we dictated that's what it's gonna be. Like that's just not how it works here at all.
So just to be clear, if Yaira doubles Isam 1's sales, you're not going to be mad.
No. No,
okay. I guess I needed to clear that up for some people.
Imagine that. If we get $7 million in sale, imagine that. I don't think that I will shed.
You're gonna be seething. I can tell, seething. all those sales coming in, he's just gonna be crying his eyes out.
Oh no, this character I created is a big
fucking white women.
That's just not how it works. That's not how it works. It's not how it has ever worked, and it will work, man. I just want this to buy what you like. That's all I want you to do, man. So
I want to see a marketing campaign of Eric's face sticking in the corner saying, "Where do white women at?" and then Yaira just there in the background.
Idea. There we go. Kanan, get on.
There you go. T-shirt.
Yeah, I'll take it. Jay Secret Racism again says, Eric, I'm so proud of your multi-million-dollar failures.
Yeah.
Just found out yesterday I'm top 10 finalist in a major writing competition. Ooh,
way to go!
Well, congratulations. Cool. I love that. Hell yeah. Keep it up, man. Whatever it is that you're doing. All right, Chuck, I already know, man, I didn't want to take too much. We're already 2 hours in, which is about how long I wanted to keep you. We'll continue these on here in a little bit. I just wanted to again thank you for not only coming on with us today, but also just the amount of work and effort that you put into the stories and some of the stuff it is that we're doing. Man, I just can't wait for the audience to actually see it. I tell you this all the time. You've been instrumental in my growth as a creative, and loving having you here kind of to assist, man. It's been, again, godsend. I couldn't it's the only way that I could put it. Let's just say that. So this success is all yours, man. It's much deserved, man. And I can't wait for just what we're going to be building here at the Rippaverse. So before you bounce, I just wanted to see if you had anything else you wanted to say to the audience, to the customers out there about Alphacore or the Rippaverse or whatever it may be.
Yeah, thank all of you. I mean, people say, "Oh, he's a legend. He's this, he's that," but I'm sure to a lot of your audience, they didn't know who the hell I was. I was like some guy that was on a reality show 10 years ago, and they had to explain, "Oh, well, Chuck Dixon's this, he's that." But you've adopted me. You like the book, you spread the word, you're digging it, and that makes me happy because I got to look across the dinner table at my family and justify sitting in a room daydreaming all day. So it's awesome. Thanks so much for your reaction. Thanks for welcoming me into your house, Eric. And I gotta say, I've had a lot of fun. I continue to have fun, and you should see the stuff Joe and I have come up with, and another project we haven't talked about with another artist. So got a lot of stuff coming up from me. And then the Saskas, I got a race to keep up with them. So it's a good thing there's two of them, because man, I'll tell you, on a Zoom call, one person couldn't say everything they had to say.
Yeah, that would have been impossible.
Impossible.
That would have been impossible.
So anyway, thank all of you, and see you next campaign.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, Chuck, man, you take it easy, brother. I appreciate you so much, man.
All right,
Chuck, you are a legend. You are a legend.
Yes.
Thank you. Big shout out to Chuck, man. Thank him. We thank him so much for hanging out with us. You as well as, man, do you need to kind of get up out? I don't know what time it is out there.
I'm just playing video games after this on stream for a living, so yeah, it's all great. but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you, Chuck Dixon is one of the reasons why I love comics so much, and that's just that is a guarantee. He will go. I mean, he is a legend. We know that, but he is going to go down in history as one of the greatest comic book writers that has ever existed, and that isn't even fucking close.
That's
you know,
true.
that is a cast iron fucking guarantee. Yeah. He's absolutely amazing. I said at the beginning of the stream, I wasn't complacent, but I was just so relaxed that I knew this campaign was going to do so well because it's Chuck Dixon. I told you before, this is a 7-figure campaign, Eric.
Yeah.
The absolute unbelievable quality and talent of Chuck Dixon is when I got the book, it was even better than I imagined it would be. That was the craziness because that's what Chuck Dixon does. He's so damn good. And to see him excited to be here and just see the enthusiasm of everyone, it's just as a fan. But I mean, I know I'm a content creator and all that bollocks, but just as a comic book fan, which I am, it's so uplifting to see. So thank you to everyone here. Cannot wait for Yair. I got a feeling.
Okay.
Feeling them. I got a feeling that that campaign is gonna do huge, really do. And having seen you work now, very excited where that's gonna go.
Hey, Chuck said something on his way out where he said that,
he said
there
bye.
were people that he did say that. He did say that. That was a good catch. That was a really good catch. Where like there were a lot of people that had never heard of him before this book. And that's true, actually. We've gotten first-time comic book readers with every single one of our campaigns. And I envy the people whose first comic book was Chuck fucking Dixon's Alphacore.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a gateway drug into loving comics.
Yes.
Dude, just inject it into my veins for the rest of my life.
Yeah, the first comic book I read was Alan Grant writing and Jim Apato's art. I mean, you know, stuff like that. Looking back now, you're just like, holy shit. People are going to look back at that with Chuck Dixon, and they're going to be very happy.
Oh, 100%.
So cool.
100%. So, okay. So let me move over here. Okay, so where are we at? We are at, let me refresh it over here actually. We are at 1.288, so a little over 10 grand away from 1.3 million. So thank you guys so much for that, all the love being shown there. You guys have been incredible. Thank you.
Do be aware if you're looking and you can't pick one up today, don't panic, because there will be on the store. They'll be doing cover D going forward as the copy to buy, so you can still pick it up at a later date. Do not panic.
Yeah, you'll still be able. There'll be some items that will be moving over to the CGCs. No, but you'll see some items moving over to the store. So yes, to Az's point, yeah. That and again that Braxwell shirt, we're working on it. It may be live tonight. I don't know, but yeah, you'll be able to grab that there. So okay.
Those of you considering getting multiple covers, those bundles will not be on the store after the campaign. So you save money by grabbing those bundles.
That's a great point. The bundles will not be available after the campaign ends. So yeah. You want to be able to get
buy some comics already, dude. What's going on?
I haven't read any of these.
Fake comic fan.
This is actually traced comics.
Yeah. Those aren't even real.
It's CGI. This is 3D assets.
3D. Those look for 3D assets actually. Yeah. So they're not there.
These are definitely 3D assets. I can feel it.
But no, for sure, guys, get in on those bundles if you have not already, because those will not be available after midnight tonight our time. So be sure
they will turn into pumpkins.
Yeah, they will be gone. Okay, let me fly through some of these. Where am I at? This Morpheus with a 10 says, "Hell to Ripper, Chuck, Saskers, Andrew, and rip ass. Okay. Says, got Isam 1, 2, and Alphacore for my birthday, but I'm scared to ruin such epic books when I read them. Thanks for all the stories and inspiration. Well, you can
Buy
always
multiple copies.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
Always
you can always
reader.
Always get a reader.
We always
reader.
offer a read and
Never
a read and collect pack too
That's
when we
true.
do our campaigns where you can get.
Broke.
Yep. So there you go. Just get a reader. Plenty of copies available to you, and because we sell our own books, you will always be able to get one from our website. Student of God with a 2 says, you got super chats without attacking people. Imagine that. Somehow I didn't have to spend entire streams doing other things. I could just have fun and people would send super chats. Look at that Braxwell super kick there.
Do you later, Math?
So it's funny how that works. Renown Zero with a 34 month says, MegaCon is going to be a fun time. Looking forward to it. Waiting patiently to watch the meltdown over Yaira sales. Can't wait to see the covers. Absolutely. It is going to be a fun time. Come out there. We will be out there. We have a presence the entire bit. So the 1st to the 4th. And our panel will be Saturday. So you'll be able to see, of course, myself, Saskas, as well as Mike Barron, and we'll be talking Rippaverse, everything and all that. And we have a bunch of our friends that'll be utilizing the booth that we have. So we'll be doing signings, meetups. So you get to meet some teams, from some guys from G&G team, Gary Neurotic, Critical Drinker, X-Ray Girl. The list goes on. We're gonna have a lot of people that are at some point will be at our booth that you will be able to meet. So be sure to just keep it locked. It's gonna be a great time. MidCon is gonna be massive for us, so that'll be fun. Lord of the Realm, with 16 months. The Alphacore was great. Loving the universe you guys are building. Now bring on the Yaira Winter. Yeah. It is on the way. It is on the way. Best believe. Odin says with a 10, there's not a wasted word, and every one of them moves the story forward. I was not expecting the climax of the tale to hit me as hard as it did. Alphacore equals A++. I love to hear that as a review. And yes, once we talk spoiler talk stuff, you guys will see. We'll talk about all of that. It's gonna be a great time. So, okay. Intergalactic Pirate Radio with a 10. I know the Ripperverse gets a lot of flack from left-wing toadies who believe that it's part of some broader cultural conspiracy. I mean, hell, yeah, that's true. Every day there's some like intent that I didn't know. I was.
What's the conspiracy?
Yeah,
it's a comic book.
Yeah.
It's a comic book. They made a comic book and they put it up for sale. Nobody had a gun to their fucking head saying, if you don't buy this comic book, we're going to kidnap your family, mister. It's called capitalism. Yeah. It's something the left don't fucking understand because they're commie wankers. That's why. Product goes on sale. Customer buys product. Product successful. Guess what? More product comes based off success.
Funny how
something
that works.
That they just don't get.
It blows their minds. He says he just wanted to ask what superheroes mean to each of you personally. Well, I mean, look, that was I might have learned to read by reading comics when I was really young. So obviously it has a special place to myself. Met a lot of good friends along the way, people that I've linked up with just culturally kind of in these various fandoms. So it's no secret, as to why I woke up one day, we was speaking to various people, and I'm like, man, should I really do this? Is this something that I should do? And I just do it. And I did it and it worked out, but it's something that I'm very passionate about, something that has been sort of a lifelong dream of mine, and to see it play out the way that it has, to be received the way that it has been just something that I could have never imagined. So that's my answer to that. Obviously it's very important to, my kind of, my life just right now, it's just, it doesn't get no better than that. So that's my answer there. That's my answer there. where am I at? Smiles Frown with a 1 month says hello, hello, hello. And for added effect, hello. Thank you.
Howdy.
Yeah. Raceland with a 20 says Yara for the win. Loved all the books though. Thank you for making entertainment I enjoy. Been missing that for several years. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Eric's gonna block you for that.
Yeah. I'm gonna block you. Yeah.
You are gonna love Yaira. I don't mean to hijack the Alphacore thing, but I will just say it was written from a perspective of frustration with a lot of my heroes. Like when we wrote Black Widow, they said, "Can you make her Black Widow again?" They kind of deviated from who Natasha was, and it was so nice to be able to fix a character. But when you get the honor that you've given us, boss, by being able to be like the nannies of Yaira, and we're there at ground zero. We can write her as a character with, like, in no joke, there's at least 10 years of Yaira that we've already created. Easily. There's 10 years. There's so many books. People are like, what happens in like Yaira 2? I'm like, you guys, I'm Yaira 100. I'm thinking about what's going to be the centennial like, celebration of Yaira. Who is she going to be dating? Who in her life is going to be dead? All of that. And I just, no agenda. I want people to just fucking enjoy it. I just want people to read it and be like, wow, I didn't even realize that you could enjoy a comic book the way you enjoy a movie.
Yeah, and I also speak like how Chuck was saying, most people didn't know who he was. That's weird. Most people have no idea who the hell we are whatsoever. And then they picked up the Black Widow comic because you kept talking about it and he kept talking about it, and they're like, oh wow, these girls are okay. They, like, and it's such a
nice play, baby.
It's such a privilege because, like, I remember when you announced the Rippaverse, Jen and I were so like, oh my God, I want to be part of it. And then you hit us up and we're like, yes.
That's
I would have died of jealousy if you got another person writing Yaira.
No.
I was telling her I would die of jealousy just being like, they're having so much fun over there.
Yeah.
Just over here working in mainstream films. Every cool idea I have at work, my other work, they're like, it's a bit weird. It's not for everybody. Every idea I have here, you're like, that's a great idea. How about this? It's just such a wonderful place for creatives. I like to say that this is where creatives go to live. Yeah. Mainstream is where creative goes to die.
And yes, but like, you've created something really cool here, Eric. Thank you.
I'm trying, man. No, I appreciate y'all being here, and it's been like, the fact that we have these people being as entertained as they are, that they actually have something to look forward to. I know that it's been like kind of a little grim there with modern entertainment or mainstream entertainment. So to be a part of something and being able to create things that people look forward to like, you know, get invested in, but also the creatives look forward to creating, right? I say this about the employees here as well. You know, I try to facilitate the best kind of work environment that I possibly can. You know, we're all working, we're all grinding, but I want people to feel like this is an awesome place to be. I'm going to get the best out of you guys when that's the case. So that's what we strive for. I think we have a nice little balance here, and I think that's why it's worked. That's why the Rippaverse is the Rippaverse. It's because of that. So
100%.
For sure. Raceline, I appreciate that. We got our brunch with a 5 says fine. I will go to Orlando. You guys win. Okay. Like I said, panel Saturday, so get there early Saturday. And our booth will be there the entire time. So we'll be there hanging out various days. And I look forward to meeting y'all.
I look forward to hugging y'all.
It's gonna be a good one. Like, we got so many of us that will be there. So Daniel Live with a 10 says Alphacore was more substance than style. In my opinion, credit where credit is due. Chuck Dixon made the story and characters of Alphacore intriguing. Big ups to Mr. Dixon, Michael Lillian, best duo ever, says Daniel Live. Appreciate that. And yes, they are on the front of that cover C, that full cover C. So thank you so much for that love. And of course, man, Chuck knows what he's doing, man. He knows exactly what he's doing. I missed this. Drunk 3PO with a 10 says congrats on a fantastic campaign. I won't block him. Many more to come. Drunk 3PO, man. You know I love to see you here, bro. We got some catching up to do too, man. So appreciate you, Drunk 3PO. Thank you so much. Hoa Murata, there she is with a 10. Congrats on another a great campaign. It's amazing to watch this company grow and everyone grow with it. I can't wait to see how you play the long game. Thank God there is no pie, fixed or otherwise. Yes, we're grinding constantly, but yeah, there's a lot of stories that we have to tell, and it's exciting. All right, Murata, thank you so much. Bashy with a 50 says, listen, Black Stanley, you know they get very angry when y'all call me that. They get very pissed off. Says, how dare you create 3 books and have more in the works? You are hurting small creators and you have the audacity to deliver on time. How dare you? I demand that you debate me, and if you don't, you are a failure. Oh, hi, as he says,
Gotcha.
That's a great summary of events. Let's say that. A great one. But yeah, man, look, we're in our own lane, you know.
Not in anybody's way.
We're not.
Apparently, so.
Let me ask you, as I have to ask you, because you obviously you're on the outside looking in, right? So you're not here. What the fuck? Make this make sense that there are people that believe that the sheer existence of the Rippaverse somehow is a knock. Well, let's say this: how the Rippaverse operates as well, like our business, or like how we get product out and all that, somehow knocks other also comic book companies and creatives. Like what am I seeing that gives people the idea, or what am I missing? Excuse me, because I ain't seeing it. But maybe because you have a outside perspective, you can make this shit make sense to me.
Oh, beware, my lord of jealousy. 'Tis the green-eyed monster that does mock the flesh it feasts on.
Ooh, well said.
Othello, Act 3, Scene 3. It's never been more evident. It's hilarious because you're a man with a vision, one man with a vision, and you put your money where your mouth was. I hate to say this, I have to say this. You're a believe it or not, Eric, you're black.
When?
I know.
Oh no,
you haven't lent into any political sphere for help or group for help. It's all been self-made, self-done, self-financed, and you have made a mockery of the mainstream and everything that they profess to support. So the mainstream are mad because you weren't uplifted by some virtue signaler who thought that they could gain themselves some virtue bucks. And you've actually, I know we've heard this nonsense about, oh my God, he's tried to destroy crowdfunding. Oh my God. Won't somebody think of the children? When you said, well, no, that's just not the route I want to go down. I want to bring on creators, get the product ready, then do a pre-order campaign and ship. It's a crazy notion, I know. If you could just get your head around that for a moment, folks. You pay money, you get something. I know it'll take people a long time, but it's easy to receive criticism from different angles when people are years behind on their work. When people don't have the work ethic that you've had, where people aren't getting the accolades they believe they deserve. When you can reach out and get people like Chuck Dixon, Mike Barron, Soskers, and who else knows?
Oh yeah, there's some other guys
around the corner.
Got some artists that, yeah,
you know, and I do think, you know, you do have to go to the fact that a dying monster lashes out, and so that's why there's a lot of flack coming your way, because these are the screams and flays of a dying beast, and it's a dying beast because they've had opportunities, they've had the world at their fingertips and they've blown it. And I think there's a lot of self-reflection in this anger. I think there's a lot of self-loathing in this anger, and I don't think you should give a flying fuck. You just need to put your head down, do what you do, because what you're doing is absolutely phenomenal. You're making people happy. You're selling books. you're bringing unbelievable creative talent in that has vision, that has direction, that is excited to produce content.
I'm excited.
I'm excited.
And I mean, the only eyes that you need to be on is your customers.
Yeah.
Those are the only eyes you need to be on. Your peers, I mean, there are some amazing peers out there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's also some fucking shit. There's a lot of fucking shit as well. People that need to just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and get on with your shit, yeah? And it is shit. And so you don't need to worry about the concerned trolls and all this bollocks. No, you need to do what you're doing. You need to look at what your customer's saying. You need to look at your sales. You need to see where to pivot, where not necessary to pivot, where to push on with. Because 3 books in, 4th book around the corner, 5th one shot around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
This is phenomenal for a company that's less than 2 years old. I if I was, I would say all this and then I'd turn the camera off and I'll tell you what I'd do, Eric. I'd fucking laugh. I would just turn the turn the camera off.
Yeah.
Nice one. Good. Fuck out of here. That's what I would be doing.
Yeah.
Don't worry your sweet little brow about it.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
It's just it's for an outsider looking in. I don't everything I've wearing showed off today. I bought my money.
Yep.
My money.
These guys won't even let. And I made this point in a video. They won't even let me give them shit for free. Like it's they just buy it.
I pay my way. I'm not some Rippaverse paid hype man.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. I just legitimately believe in the vision that you're trying to create. I legitimately believe in the people that you brought on. Chuck, obviously, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
What I didn't know the Saskas before all this started, and so I decided to go and read up on their stuff, and I read that No Restraints play, and like I said, I was holy shit, these people are fucking legit. Yeah. And these are the people in control of Yaira. Then it got exciting because you just had little snippets of Yaira in the first 2 books. Did I say 2 books? Did you see that? I saw that.
All right. Nobody read. I don't know. Maybe there was something happened there.
So yeah, it's fuck them. I mean, that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Let them scream, let them shout, let all the naysayers say what they want. Okay, that's great. Focus your attention where it should be, on your customers.
Yeah, and that's something that, to your point, man, this is something that I have to focus on, that we as a company have to focus on, because that's what makes this whole thing go round. It is the customers at the end of the day. So that's who we do this for. That's who we continue to focus on and continue to entertain and whose opinions and all that shit that we value, man. Because it's about getting them what it is that they want and keeping them entertained, man. That's what it's about. So big shout out. But yeah, I had to have Az break that down because to that other super chat, it's like it was tongue in cheek what it is they're saying, but it's like, I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I woke up to one of these weirdo tweets and like someone basically claiming that I'm at war with people, and I'm like, dog, I just fucking got through working out. Like, what the fuck are y'all?
Shut up. Shut up.
Like,
you silly man. Shut up. Shut up.
Like, what is going on? So it's like I'm in places that I didn't.
People clicking.
I wasn't aware you had the free time to be at war with anybody, boss.
Yeah, war. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what war? Like, I'm a part of one. I'm not even aware that it exists. But yeah,
but let's play devil's advocate. Let's say it's a war. It's McDonald's versus Burger King. It's a war. It's on. The fist, the fucking gloves are off. The fist. I'm so sorry for putting out a product people are buying. Have a nice day.
It's like, yeah, just the end of the world, man. It's
fucking like, gross some fucking balls.
Also, behind the scenes, boss, if they knew how many, like, I will not probably spoil anything, I hope. But if they knew how much was actually going on just 2024, not even mentioning that we've projected into 2025.
Yes.
Yeah. The way you build a world is you think, what do they do next? And what are they doing in the future? Like, they have and the things that nobody knows, like the amount of stuff that is unannounced.
Yeah.
There's so much more than what you think is coming. It's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much more. And
Yeah.
boss, you have no time to even eat. I don't know
Yeah.
how you have time for war.
I'm on a
He has one
legitimate-
meal a day.
I'm on a 1 meal. Andrew's right. I'm on a 1 meal a day thing, and that's it. I eat one meal a day, and then I'm working for the rest, like nonstop.
That sounds like racism. That's what that sounds like. That sounds like you're a far left bigot.
Potentially,
Yeah.
but no, it's constant grind. It's constant work, constant grind. And yeah, that's why engaging and kind of goofiness, it's like I quite literally don't have the time and energy to be dedicated to that. I'm dedicated to this company. I'm dedicated to the employees here, the contractors here, and we want to keep the train on the tracks. So that's what it is that we're doing. I just saw somebody in the chat. Where is he at? There he is. Ripper motivated ass to lose weight, so his Rippaverse clothes wouldn't fit, and he needed to buy more. Yes,
Yeah.
Diabolical.
So evil.
yeah, it's a conspiracy. Shout out Ryan.
Right. Got him.
Shout out Ryan. Shout out. Okay, what else we got?
No, the truth is, Ryan, I was so disgusted with how well the Rippaverse was doing. I just lost weight through worry. And I just wanted to get out of the lose enough weight to get out of the clothes so I could never wear them again. That is how, and that's why I'm here. I'm here as a spy for the mainstream crowdfundings, and yeah, go fuck yourself, Eric.
He outs himself.
Whoa.
Wow.
Oh, he outs himself as the spy from wherever, from Main
He's
Street.
the real Black Widow.
That was
She's
the
been
dark.
Black
He was
Widowing us.
covert ass was covert ass. He played it well, about as well as anybody could play it. But shout out to Ass, man. I think he is streaming after this though. Seriously, so go watch him play. What is it? Pow
World.
Pal World.
Yeah.
Power World. Power World. I don't know why I keep getting that fucked up. Black Ice with a 2 says Hilarious Shades win.
Ooh.
I don't know.
For the summer.
That's not a bad idea. Barbecue Pits with a 20 says, yo, Chuck, my favorite part of your classic book was when the leftists in Flores Park started a movement to defund Alphacore. You're a fucking genius for that, bro. Oh, man. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts. Barbecue Pits. I appreciate that. 32 Flavors of Nick Wise with a 5. This panel is Keanu Reeves level of breathtaking. You're breathtaking. Thank you. 32 Flavors.
Deep.
Of,
Love
yeah,
it.
Thank you.
No dog killing though. My dog would kill somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Brent Wolf with a 7 months says just verified the Gem at 10 on eBay's CGC's registry. It's legit. Yeah, it's out there. That's why I said like
Those totes take care of those books, man.
yeah, those yeah, right. Those
in April.
the fucking totes, man. But yeah, no, there was one out there. I remember seeing it. So
I want it. I have to have it.
It's out there. Isaac with the 18 months says, I love the book. Chuck is the GOAT. The socks is a beautiful hell. Rippaverse 2024 is gonna be fucking huge. Eric July is pretty coul too. Thank you.
Yeah,
Eric's okay.
The little one with the Rippaverse hat and the profile pictures.
Pretty not bad. He writes the checks.
I'll try.
And he writes them on time.
Oh yeah, imagine that. Brass Monkey with a 20 says,
Monkey, we love you.
yeah, he's awesome. Says congratulations to legendary Chuck Dixon for knocking Alphacore out the park. Can't wait for the second book. Getting ready for a hot Yaira winter by the amazingly talented Saska Queens Rippaverse life. Thank you for that 20. That ain't cheap, by the way. And yes, he did knock it out the absolute park. Jeremy Secret Racism with a 5 says, Eric, you're wrong. Silverback and Meth Gary are the main characters in the Rippaverse. The audience demands it, he says. Okay, I can respect that. Grateful Dog with a 3 months. We got 17 months from JM says, imagine Yara does 100K book. Well, that would be fucking amazing if it did. I would be a very happy.
I would bawl my eyes out. I got to invest in waterproof mascara. I would just always be crying, and people be like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, I'm just so happy.
I would be an incredibly happy person. Isam 143K in sales, Isam 220K sales, Alphacore 13K sales, our most successful campaign. When Isam 3 only hit 6K sales, will it be still be a success? Well, it's not 40K sales, by the way, Red Coat District. I know you're saying that as a tongue in cheek, but that's it's when I said it was our most successful campaign, I'm speaking everything. Like, I'm speaking creatively, I'm speaking as far as the efficiency. You know, we didn't have website issues, crashing, and all the stuff that we had with Isam 1 and 2. However, 43K is not the sales. What you're looking at is the number of total purchasers, right? So those numbers are not accurate. For example, it's not 13K sales. We've sold over 22,000 books sold for Alphacore. So
at a lower price from the first
at a much lower price than what it is that we said we'd have been. Who knows where it would have been if we sold it as far as what it cost for previous books. So Zion with a 210 says, I fail to understand those who criticize because they feel like they have to step up their game, even though it's not really a competition, but a blueprint to success. See everyone in Orlando with a 10 from Zion. I thank you so much. And well, I guess it's someone brought this up and they put it perfectly. It's you see that some people, even that are culturally right, are economically left. And what I mean by that, or what he means by that, is this sort of collectivistic mindset as it pertains to the economics of the industry, where they think one person existing and one person being or company, let's say, existing and being successful is somehow like a threat to them. And that's just not how it works. That's why you hear me always say that the pie is not fixed. And economics will help a lot of people out if they just surface level had an understanding of it. I mean, it would do them a bit of good. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you in Orlando, Zion. Martin with a 5 said, it sounds like all characters that have stories are the main characters of said stories. Yes, that's kind of a giveaway that Isam is the main character of Isam, and Alphacore is the main characters, and Alphacore and Yaira will be the main character in Yaira.
Gooding's the main character in Gooding.
Yeah, something like
hey, watch the spoilers. Watch the spoilers.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Right. Spoiler alerts all over the place. And
really all in here.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, you're gonna see Yaira and Yaira.
You gotta see a lot of Yaira and Yaira that has been confirmed, leaked. There. Gabe, what's up? El Taib with a 10 says it's a colorist of Isam. If you have not, if you don't know that, says I've been using Mac Studio and Adobe Photoshop. He says confession to color Isam and Dean Kane All American. You are not a real artist, Gabe. How
you're not using Crayolas. How dare you? I mean, at least you left more for the people who munch on them for their diet.
Yeah, I guess so. How dare you, Gabe? Do that. But shout out to Gabe. We appreciate you so much. He does a lot for the Rippaverse, man. Colors of Isam, man. Love him to death. Jeremy Secret Racer with a 2 of them Yaira body pillows are gonna come up pregnant. Fucking shit. Says Jeremy Secret Racism. Rolling with a 10 says congrats on everything. Rippaverse, great team and very inspiring. I've been in creation mode lately with characters in my fantasy story. Well, hey, shout out to you. Says keep it the good work. Awesome. Everyone, can't wait for Yaira. Well, I appreciate that, Roland, and congrats to you, man. Keep it up. Wish you nothing but good things, man, with your creative endeavors, man. Appreciate that. Vito Prashad with a 5 said had a battery up my ass most of the day doing a Valley plate on a GX 460. Thank you guys for keeping me company the last couple of hours of work. Well, I appreciate you, Vito Prashad. We love to see you here hanging out. Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Art Attack, there he is.
Hey, what's up, Sean?
Fourth place finisher of
fourth place finisher of our Isam 2 with that
fan art contest.
Sweet Sydney Bloodroot piece.
Yeah.
So gorgeous.
That was good. I'll wait inevitably. Yaira inevitably breaking comics Twitter. Yeah, there are gonna be some interesting things happen. That's gonna be
a lot of people caught up in their fifis.
Yeah. Oh man, in some kind of way, that's for sure. Paul Height with a 5. Thank you for the bundles, by the way. COVID lockdowns, Buck bro me financially during Isam 1 and 2. I love how you cater to your customers. Oh yeah, you can get in whenever. That's why we really value our kind of system that we have here, where we don't. Yes, we sell to retailers, but we don't rely on retailers. So that allows us to do cool things like this because you're able to get the new material directly from us. Defendo 99 with a 5. Future campaigns, can we mix and match covers in the read and collect? So you're talking about like trying to take advantage of the bundle, but having
do like a read cover D and a collect cover
that
C.
Sounds like technically that's gonna be a nightmare. But I could almost look. I wouldn't be the one building it out, so I can get what our website can to see if that's a possibility, because I can understand where that can be enticing. But yeah, that sounds like technically it's gonna take some work. Well, we've done.
I will say you're gonna want every cover of Yaira. There's
oh hell yeah these
plain and white, and I can't. Wow.
There's
can't say anything.
Let's just say there are legends doing covers. I'll just say
that'll do it. Let's just say that.
Got my eyes on you.
There's someone really special with a cover.
Yes, there is. You guys are going to love it.
Happens, guys. Happy stuff happens.
It's all
That's true.
It is.
Origami with a 5 says, new here. Do you have to read Isam 1 prior to Alphacore? Not necessarily. Or is it a good jump on point? Got the pack just in case. No.
I would call Alphacore a great jumping on point.
You could jump on there. You just missed their first appearance, but
yeah.
As far as like how the story folds, no. You can for sure read it. You can for sure read it isolated, and it wouldn't get in the way of either story. That's it. So be sure to go check that out.
Yeah, you can absolutely read Alphacore first, and then if you get hooked, you can go back and grab Isam 1 and 2.
True. That's true. So yeah, you're good to go. Lieutenant Hughes with a 2 says, do we have a date approximation for Yaira's release? Not yet. We're working on that. Of course, we're gonna keep you guys posted. We won't commit until we know we're ready. So that's kind of a driving point with us. So soon enough, we'll let you know. The tequila professor with a 5 told everyone for a year to hire greats like Chuck and Mike. Someone did. Well,
they were available. Which is a travesty, but it was good for us.
But it worked for us. Joy Reed's missing Trump hair wig. Jesus Christ. With a 5 says hell. Thank you for that. Joe with a 5 said Rippaverse 2024. You guys are killing it. Thank you so much. We appreciate that, Joe. Music. Jeremy Secret Racism with a 2. Serious question, Eric. Are you black? Yes, that news broke earlier.
I couldn't keep that NDA under wraps.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah,
the black was too strong.
Yeah, it was. It broke out finally. Mr. E with a 2 says Larry Shungite book now. Please.
Yes.
Potentially. Luke with a 5 butt says I got a goal. Excuse me. Get my first finished comic Pain Machines funded and my channel to hit 10K subs this year.
Best of luck to you.
Work, best of luck to you. Grind, work, and who knows? Who the fuck knows, man? Anything can happen, man. Just keep grinding. Homie, I appreciate you being here for 5 months. Aerothane with a 5 says EJ, the Saskas look too beautiful. Admit it, you traced them. They're 3D assets, man.
Yeah,
they're just 3D assets up there. That's all that they are.
And cheap ones even look the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yep. We've been
had to trace once.
Yeah, that's it. We've been had. Joking side with a 5. The rest number on Isam 1 cover A is legit, but the pics are not. Looks like the sellers crack slabs. Reverse team, please look into them. I mean, look. You know better, say you ain't getting it from us, right? So it doesn't matter what it is you're buying. If it's not from us, you got to do your due diligence. So I can't say whether it's legit or not. But you know, if it's a reputable seller, it may be, but there we at least know that there is one that is floating around. But if it's not legit, it's not legit. Just look into it. Mark Henry with a 5 said, would you ever sell your books to a retailer like Barnes and Nobles? It sells comics, but not a comic book store. Well, if they buy them shits for us, we'll sell it to anybody. If the retailer wants to buy it, yes.
Yeah, if they want to buy 15,000 copies,
I mean, whatever works. If they want to go buy, yeah, for sure. But yes, we'd sell it to them if they want to sell it. You know, it's fine. They have a nice little retailer portal if they want to utilize that as well. Gabe with a 5 said Eric July did not vote for Biden and therefore is not black. He is using 3D assets to fake it. Hashtag exposed.
Do you have that on good authority?
Yeah, yep. I am 3D. I'm not even here. I'm traced the 3D asset of a black man. It's not even real. So shout out Gabe. Jokingly with 13 months says hashtag best of us, hashtag bet your ass, hell, Rippaverse. We appreciate that. And thank you guys so much. Okay. Let me see here where we are at. So we are at almost at 1.29.
Wow.
In total sales, we're right under that, over 13,100 total purchasers now. So things are picking up, and we love to see that. So we appreciate that. We appreciate the support. As we've said many times today, it has been a blast, man. It's this whole company, man. I have fun. I look forward to working every day. And it is quite literally every day. And I'm appreciative to be in this position. So we thank you guys just on behalf of everybody here, man. We thank you guys for the continued support. Everything we've done with the Ripperverse, everything has happened with Alphacore. What's going to happen with Yaira, what happened with Isam, all the support. We just appreciate you guys so much, man. And just very thankful. Philip, what's up, man? Nice artist, Philip Burnett.
Oh, Philip, he's so talented.
Yes, he is. Loving the book. Can't wait to read more. Well, I appreciate you so much. We can't wait to get it to you, man. We love the art, seeing your fan art. We got Joe Music. What's up, Joe? With a 2 says Yaira Winter, which sort of reminds me.
Oh my God, release a new cover. Just between us and the thousands of people watching.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all are killing me.
Sorry, Andrew.
Let me make sure that because I have not been checking the recent events over here, and I think we're fine. Yeah, we're good. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything as far as the direct donors. Okay. I'm gonna go around the table here, and I want to let everybody kind of give their thoughts here in a little bit. Let me fly through this. Jeremy, Secret Racing 1-2. Eric, I can't support you anymore. You're black. 31 months from Dark Side Droid says 31 and count. That's a long time. So I usually drop 20 and bounce, but wanted to say hey to the beautiful and talented Sasa sisters. The future's bright. Yes, it is bright. Be great, he says. Yes, we appreciate that. The Paul Height with a 10 says to chime in on the trace thing. Art has developed with tracing from glass panes to life drawing. The biggest art asset in history is a wooden mannequin. It's a nothing burger. It's just people are just cling to whatever they can cling to that month. It's just what it is. So today that just happened to be what it is. They'll find something new next month. This is what it is. So okay, I'm gonna start with Jen and Sylvia. Just some closing thoughts, something to leave with the audience before we kind of get out of here and start to get on a heavy promo for the day on social media and all this for Alphacore. I will give you ladies the floor.
Would you like to start?
You were born first, so you can go first.
So guys, I know you don't have to read any comic for any reason, especially to pick up whatever you're most passionate about. However, there are some great bundles with Isam 1, 2, and 3. If for some reason you're watching this and haven't read a comic, which seems to be a thing going around, you got so much great subtext and building blocks for everything there. And there might be some moments that seem more insignificant. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but if you get these books and read them next week when we spoil things, and I'll try not to ruin the whole company, we're going to have a great conversation. And we want you to be there for that. And when you read Yaira, when Yaira might interact with people from other comics, I don't know who's in there. I don't know who's in Yaira. You might get some really fun subtext from what Chuck and Eric have put into those characters.
Alphacore is one of the best books ever written, period. Yeah. That is it. If you have never read a comic book, this is a place to start. Yeah. I firmly feel that some of the greatest stories ever have been told in comic books and video games, but not everyone enjoys the medium. If you're an adult person listening right now, you have the money and the freedom to not pay your rent and buy comic books and video games.
Fiscally responsible, guys.
Fuck it. You need little things to get you through the shittiness of life. And this is one of those little goodies. And while I say you don't have to pick up Isam to be able to read this, one of the things I love most about comics when they used to be good is that you get little pieces of every character. You will see Alphacore and Yaira. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
You will see them. That's why I have a different perspective towards them, because me and Yaira, we're very close. Yeah, we've gotten very close over the last year or so. And, you will, if you like characters within the universe, be happy, because you will see them show up. We're just at the beginning, but already there's been so much work put in that there is the crossover. There is the surprise. There is the, oh, hey, that character got really developed here. Or, hey, something happened in Isam 2 that affects a Yaira story as well.
Yeah.
We're so excited about the universe that we're building, and you should buy the book just because you like us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly.
Yeah.
But truthfully, even if you're on the fence, the books will just keep coming down in price, and we're always going to be grateful for you to pick up a copy and jump on the train. And welcome to the Rippaverse, where we do want you as a fan.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. I mean, they put that perfectly. Look, guys, I mean this sincerely. Everybody here is invested in what it is that we're doing. This is never something that it was like, hey, we're gonna make a mark, make a name for ourselves, and kind of bounce type of situation. This is like Chuck put his fucking foot in this damn book, so you're gonna want to get it. And it gives a lot of perspective. We know we kind of started, though it's not the only city in our universe. We did start with Flores Park. This book gives you a lot of context to how the world looks like it, that has quite literally super cops that are in it. So be sure to check that out. I guess I'll go with Andrew next before we wrap up, if you had some closing thoughts.
Yeah, something that those of us who've been fans of all this stuff, comic books, Star Wars, what have you, for decades, something that we've all been able to pick up on in recent years is that the people that are now in charge of them are not fans of this stuff. They don't care about this stuff, and they don't care to become fans of this stuff. They don't care to learn about it. They'll just, say whatever they have to, in an interview on the red carpet, and say, oh, this is the best superhero movie I've ever seen, blah, 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 blah. And piss all about the character or the story that was actually put up on screen. This company was built by fans, for fans. I found Eric on YouTube via his comic book commentary. Yeah. I read the Saska's No Restraints play. I grew up on Chuck Dixon's work. I grew up on Mike Barron's work. Yeah. These are people who care about this stuff. So if you're an old school comic book fan and you fell out of it because most of it's cat litter box lining in terms of its quality now, give us a shot. You're not going to be disappointed. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. And I say that as a fan. I don't say that as ND Andrew. I don't say that as creative director and editor at the Rippaverse. I say that as somebody who grew up with comic books since I was 8 damn years old. Superheroes mean something to me. And I'm proud to be a part of what we're building here.
I love that. What a way to close that. So, okay, guys. Like I said, I believe later I will be popping in for a little bit on Flash's show, and we'll be talking a little bit about Alphacore and everything there, just to shoot shit about it. So if you have not got in on it, please go ahead and get in on it. Go to Rippaverse.com, grab that lovely cover C, grab that lovely cover D that's right there as well.
Grab the whole ass bundle while it's still available.
Grab the whole damn thing, man. There's
Get the whole bitch.
Yeah, just get every damn thing. Get everything. Just get everything.
$8 Yaira shirts. Come on.
They're only $8 $8.
$8.
Yeah, you can't beat that with a stick, man. So,
I spend more than that on a coffee.
Yeah, exactly. So you can get that Yaira shirt for $8. We got all sorts of things happening. So we're gonna get on a heavy promo trail on social media, really ending this campaign off right. We appreciate y'all hanging out with us, showing a lot of love. We're so thankful for each and every single one of you guys. We got a lot prepared going into this year, and we're gonna keep working, keep getting better, keep rocking and rolling. And yes, Yaira is going to be right around the corner as well. So let me get through some of these real quick. Says ladies, Ripper Andrew is coming from just blumping off. Says great stream and great campaign. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Raceland with 2 months says hashtag Pigeonverse. I didn't even see that. Thank you.
You've been heard, fans. You've been heard.
You have. Rated M with a 2 says, when are we going to see the sisters on open bar? Talking about Critical Drinker. I mean, we can make that happen. Look, they're going to be on the campaign trail quite literally once Yaira comes out. But yeah, if we can get them on with the Critical Drinker, we do that. I'm pretty sure definitely they could talk film and all that all day long. So
that'd be so cool.
That'll be really cool. I'll get with Drinker and see if we can pull that off. I've been on there a million times, so
we'll be meeting him at MegaCon, won't we?
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah, maybe that's what we'll do. We'll just set it up there. We'll chat with them then at MegaCon, and we'll set something up. So that's a great point there. So if you are at MegaCon, by the way, come hang out with us.
Yeah,
we'll be there the entire time with a booth as well as a panel. So come check us out. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good one. But we're gonna bounce up out of here. Like I said, we thank you so much. Appreciate y'all for making this another successful $1 million plus campaign. We'll see where it ends, but it has been incredibly wonderful. So thank you guys so much. Until next time.
In the world.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not even close. World's greatest fans. Not even close. Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys later. This will not be behind the member wall, so you'll be able to check it out if you are still watching it. So, all right, guys. Peace out.